Hello and welcome to the first episode of Dice and Drama. I am Nick Belling, aka Nicrotex, and I'm your Dungeon Master Daddy for this Dungeons and Dragons episode of Dice and Drama. I am, of course, joined by the regular hosts of Back Pocket. Clockwise from me is Peter, Nick, Steph, and Gus.
Salutations.
Regular,
Hello,
but very awesome.
I wanted to know before we started, we talked about it a little bit on Saturday.
It's muted.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, it's okay.
We talked about it a little bit on Saturday, but what's everyone's experience with D&D?
Can't you tell? I play all the time. I've got the ears.
Peter,
Nice.
when I gave you those elf ears, that's not what you were supposed to do with them, and I'm very disappointed. And why are you wearing a backwards hat?
It's a character thing.
It's
Okay.
okay. You'll learn in the
Oh, great. Oh,
It's
no,
an
I'm looking
important
forward. I'm looking
character
forward
piece.
to it. I'm looking forward
I'm
to
playing Nick Boy tonight.
it. Okay,
Good.
Yeah, great.
And speaking of Nick Boy, my experience with D&D is I always wanted to play when I was younger and didn't. And then finally got to play with Pete and Gus and a couple of other people. Hated the experience. And now I'm here. Because Steph badgered me until I said yes. And that is the only reason.
Because Dungeons and Dragons can be so great, and you just have to play with the right kind of people and have the right kind of fun. And I think you know what I mean when I say that.
I agree. It's the right people who can embrace the fun and can not take it super seriously, as we're seeing now by the outfits and ears being worn by some of us here tonight.
I just want you to know, as DM, I definitely do not take it too seriously, so I hope that is satisfactory to your requirements, but we'll only know once we start playing.
I said in the in our work cycle, I was like, so guys, we all dressing up a little bit, like just a little bit. Everyone was like, no, and I was like, cool, yeah, no, cool. Now me neither.
Yeah,
But I couldn't help myself.
Well, hang on. I'll just get my contacts out and I'll just.
Oh,
nice.
Wow, that's so cool.
Amazing.
What do they call? What? You're a VTuber. You're a VTuber.
What a fuck. What a
Well,
fuck.
I mean, this isn't my final form, but this is as much of an outfit, and I was going to. Also, I'm having a drink in spirit of some Dungeons and Dragons style potions, etc.
that-
So I'm getting into it.
Is that a small flagon?
It is Stephanie.
I want to say two things. One,
Please.
I dressed up as someone willing to play Dungeons and Dragons, which is not normally who I am. So that's my character. But two, I have not felt the joy and excitement of being a child watching a magic show in 20 years. And Gus, you gave that to me right then. I was so fucking astounded. And when you watch the VOD back, the you shitting yourself meme is now me believing in magic again. Thank you very much.
Very glad I could.
So good. So good.
Okay, so just for those of the audience who don't know what Dungeons and Dragons is, we prepared a quick 5-minute explainer on how it works and what its impact on gaming has been. Tonight on our pilot episode of Dice and Drama, we'll be playing the classic tabletop role-playing game Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons, commonly abbreviated as D&D, is basically what you get when you put nerds in charge of fun. Now, in its 5th edition, it was originally created in 1974 by a man with the most fantasy-ass name I've ever heard, Gary Gygax, a fan of Tolkien and fantasy since childhood, and who is single-handedly directly responsible for the existence of Stranger Things. At its simplest, D&D is essentially a group of friends telling a story together, with every player controlling a single character except for one, who takes on the role of the Dungeon Master. The Dungeon Master, or the DM, controls all of the NPCs, enemies, and bosses that the players are going to encounter during the story, and generally sets up the framework that the adventure follows. Usually, the DM is someone with a story to tell, and the players are self-inserts in that story with some kind of tragic or dark backstory to overcome. There's no winning or losing. The game is about the story you create along the way, and as we all know, stories where things go wrong are infinitely more interesting. The Dungeon Master will typically narrate the location the characters find themselves in, and from there on out, it's pretty freeform. Just like in a role-playing video game, characters will be better in some skills than others. Players are able to say things like, "I climb over the wall," or "I look around the room," and the Dungeon Master will often ask them to perform what's called a skill check. For example, let's say Barry Bluejeans is trying to lift up a big heavy rock and he has +3 to his strength. That means to try to lift up the rock, he'd roll a 20-sided die and add 3 to his result. The DM would decide before he rolled what Barry Bluejeans would have to pass in order to succeed. If the rock was relatively light, say 20 kilos, Barry might just have to roll higher than a 7. But if the rock was more heavy, say 100 kilos, Barry might have to roll significantly higher, maybe an 18. If the check is successful, in the theatre of everyone's mind, Barry successfully lifts up the rock. But if it isn't, he fails. And it's as simple as that. Nearly every aspect of a character is represented in one of these skills and spans strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Each of these skills also has sub-skills. For example, the charisma skill is made up of deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion, and any character might have different values for all of those skills. Even though the skills create a framework around anything that anyone tries to do so that they're not stupidly overpowered and the story can proceed in an interesting way, it is surprisingly freeform. Two different groups tackling the same problem will often approach it in entirely different ways, just because of the way their characters are being designed or the inventiveness of the players playing them. Coming across a pair of suspicious goblins and discovering what they're hiding has a near infinite number of possible solutions. You could slaughter them, you could charm them, you could turn invisible and sneak around them, you could open a portal to another dimension underneath them, you could cast a spell that forces them to be honest, or you could just ignore them altogether. Every single one of these and more are all valid solutions, and all of them will depend on the fate of the dice. D&D also pioneered the class-based character systems such as rangers, barbarians, wizards, clerics, and bards, and every one of these has different strengths. Every character in D&D is usually a member of a fantasy race such as elves, dwarves, dragonborn, orcs, goblins, etc. And different races come with different characteristics as well, such as elves or orcs having dark vision, or a dragonborn having their breath as a weapon. Any character can be any race, any class, and any gender, and this allows players to play in a style that suits them and create a rich, nuanced character that isn't just evil because they're an orc, for example. It's no stretch to say that D&D's influence over popular culture is vast and all-encompassing. So many people over so many decades have enhanced the lore of the D&D universe, adding new spells, interesting items, crazy monsters, entire new planes of existence. Of course, this means it can be super intimidating to get into. If you're starting with a new group, you can jump in with a simplified starter kit, but once you want to go any further, you'll often need these 3 things as well. It's not exactly light reading. If you're not the type of person to come up with brand new adventures on your own, you can also purchase any number of pre-made adventures to play. These range from hardcore serious fantasy to silly comedy and everything in between, including adaptations of other franchises to the D&D rule set, such as The Lord of the Rings or even Destiny. If our playthrough tonight interests you in D&D, I'd recommend checking out the Adventure Zone, Critical Role, or my personal favourite, Dungeons and Daddies. If you're interested in playing yourself but you don't know anyone else who's interested, jump into the tabletop room in the Back Pocket Discord and ask around. There are plenty of pocketeers who'd be willing to play with you. But now, it's time for a very silly, very pockety adventure, so join us as we play a 2-shot campaign that we're calling Unthreaded. The Unthreaded campaign will be a 2-part back pocket themed dungeon crawler. Heavily inspired by Kate Welsh's Rick and Morty vs. Dungeons and Dragons campaign, and the players will explore a dungeon filled with various rooms containing puzzles and enemies in order to figure out the mystery of what is happening to them. I do want to clarify a couple of things about how we'll be playing tonight. So first, we'll be using the official online tool called D&D Beyond, rather than rolling physical dice. This means if you're a real numbers nerd, you'll be able to look at all the nitty-gritty details. And Liz Dahlia is going to add those some commands for us after each player introduces their character, so that you, the audience, can look at each player's character sheet as well. Another thing to note with D&D is that even though we're all Australian, everything in the D&D source materials is written in freedom units or feet and inches. So if you hear us refer to things in feet, it's just easier that way because spells have their ranges defined in feet and monsters are X feet high, etc.
And it's on brand for our show.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. And we will be playing with some modifications to the rules, and I do want to explain those first up just so that everyone understands that what we're doing differently is intentional. First, unless there's a good story reason, otherwise movement will be unrestricted. It's a dungeon crawler and the rooms are going to be pretty small, so I don't really care about distance.
Dungeon sprinter.
Yeah, go for it. I also have a homebrew rule to make things keep things moving a bit quicker. And I apologize for all of the non-D&D players who are about to listen to me say this, but when a player attacks with a melee weapon within range of the enemy, the hit will always land regardless of the attack strike. But if the strike is below the target's AC, they just do half damage. If you didn't understand that, it doesn't matter. Someone did. And it will stop them yelling at me in the middle of the game for not playing properly.
Nick, that's good for you. Well, it's actually not good for you because you're an
ranged.
archer.
That's fucking terrible for me. Though I will win every fight by just running up and bonking them with my bow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Or
but that's
bonking them, period.
So that's essentially just to ensure that someone doesn't wait for their turn for 5 minutes and then end up doing nothing because they missed. And it only applies to player characters. I don't let the enemies do that to you as well.
I use bow.
So if everyone's ready, I'm ready to start. Are you guys ready to start?
Mate, I've never been more ready.
Oh, my character was born
A vast year.
a day
It's not a
ago.
pirate thing. I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay,
Let's do it. Let's go. Huh?
All right.
Start.
Steph just yelled,
Okay.
huh?
What?
All right.
That's a character trait.
Yep.
Let's do it. Steph, you wake up flat on your back on a stone floor, looking up at a stone roof to the noise of stone grinding on stone. You can see quite clearly, but for some reason the light in the room is fading and quickly. You look over to your left and you see a giant stone door sliding shut. In the second before the door closes, you catch a glimpse of a beautiful green forest outside twinkling with late afternoon sunlight, but the door slams shut and it's gone. Steph, who are you and can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, my name is Hex Scardy. I unfortunately came from a difficult childhood, for though I showed natural promise with witchcraft from a young age and sought out every opportunity to experiment with magic, my parents were fiercely anti-magic and refused to allow me anywhere near colleges or academies that dealt with the occult. They'd just rather I had a normal childhood playing games instead. So I was largely self-taught in the ways of the occult. I managed to become reasonably proficient through my own study. Though with toying with strange new magics, I would often stray into arcane depths beyond my understanding. And I've been left changed as a result and haunted by something very dark. I am a female half-elf. I have black hair. My eyes are haunted. And a few personality traits that I like to read and memorize poetry because it keeps me calm and brings me fleeting moments of happiness. And I also have a terrible guilt that consumes me, and I hope that I can find redemption through my actions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's all the time we have for tonight's episode of Dice and Drama. We'll be back next episode.
Necrotex brings the dice, Steph brings the drama.
Okay. It takes a couple of seconds, Hex, for your eyes to adjust to the now low light. Flame light flickers across the walls from mounted lit torches, and still lying on the floor, you turn your head to the right and you see 3 other people lying beside you. They're asleep, and there's a wood elf, a half elf, and a hooded figure with a mane of hair protruding from the hood. What do you do?
What did I do last night? Or rather, who did I do last night?
Haunting.
Did you say that somebody was wearing a hood?
Yes.
I'm going to walk over to the hooded the creature, and I'm going to pull the hood back and get a closer look. Who is
Okay,
that?
Gus.
Who's that there?
Gus, what happens when she does that?
I sit upright quickly and tell her my backstory.
Sure, do you want to tell us your backstory?
Greetings, I am Mangus the Titular.
Shit.
I was raised in a noble house in the ways of wealth, royalty, and how to dry and press fruit to garnish ornate beverages. I was forced to hide my orcish trait and did so by growing this lustrous mane of flowing hair. It was the beard that would be called the finest in the land. Eventually, my kleptomania and my penchant for creeping on people in the shadows took over, and I was forced to flee my homeland, where I now roam free of my family's title, instead working as an assassin or thief for hire, occasionally doing bar work at the local tavern, where I mix up a mean cocktail which I call the Lightning Bolt. See recipe below. I've written.
I've written?
3 parts Southern Comfort, 1 part Hot Amaretto, 2 parts Sour Mix, and 6 parts Sprite.
Oh my God.
Coca-Cola Company, if you're interested in investing in this show, please give us a call.
Oh, hang on. I'll fix. Greetings. Yes, I sit upright.
Well, hang on. If that's your character, then what the fuck is this right now?
It's just my worn look. My D&D costume.
Oh, it's your worn look.
Oh, fine. We're back.
You gotta stay like that the whole time.
Yeah, I think I'm branded by Xbox. What the hell is that? You are too.
Fuck it up. Oh my God.
What the hell is that?
Sick neck tat, dude.
Nice.
Xcloud.
Oh my gosh, the mouth is so weird.
Oh my God.
Okay, so lying between the two of you are still a half elf and a wood elf.
Okay. Well, I suppose we should wake these two up. The wood elf there. I've not seen a wood elf around these parts for a long time. I'm gonna just vigorously shake the wood elf. Hello?
What the hell, man?
God.
What's going on here?
Oh, we just woke up in this dungeon. Pray, what's your name, sir?
Why, I'm Spyro's Hellballs.
Tell us your
Acclaimed
backstory.
cleric. Well, I'm glad you asked. You see, Spyro's Hellballs, and this is written in the third person, and when I'm talking about myself, it'll typically be in the third person, if I've prepared something earlier. You see, Spyro's Hellballs has always been a fish out of water, or an elf out of wood, as it were. Wood elf. His parents were bards who met in a traveling circus and conceived Spyros on the longship Chob on a voyage to the Arzic Isles. It was on the Isles, in a little-known conglomeration of fishing villages called the Lost Angleries, that Spyros was born and raised. Life was simple, and below the palms, the Hellballs toked their pipes and relaxed into an isle lifestyle away from the circus. Spyros learned the cleric craft from the undisputed leader of Lost Angleries, a wizened old fishmonger whose name was Secret, long ago lost to the sea. As such, the fisher folk referred to her as their girl bass. While Spyros took pride... While Spyros...
Boo!
Go back to sleep.
While Spyros took pride in L.A. and the good work he was accomplishing, he yearned for something more. On his 35th birthday, he approached his stoned parents and asked them why they weren't more sea elves. Upon learning that in fact he wasn't not a sea elf but a wood elf, Spyros spiraled into depression, man. For 35 years, the only wood Spyros had ever known was his morning erection. There had to be more. So packing his belongings and a healthy amount of Arzik weed, Spyros set off to the mainland to find the woods and learn the history of his people. And that's where this adventure for him begins. Or so he thought until he woke up in this cave.
Drive a dagger into Spyros.
Ow, dude.
Sorry.
I think he's trying to smoke that dagger.
Okay.
One person's still asleep on the floor.
You take it, Spiros. Wake him up.
Hey, bro, you all right?
I wake up to the heavy smell of cheese puffs and some sort of fucking dime store pie. The munchies is what I'm trying to say. Who's there? What's your name?
Well, dude, I'm Spyros Hellballs.
No,
And these are some other folk. I didn't ask their names, but they seem pretty cool, man. One of them just stabbed me.
That's a really cool name, Spyros. My name is Fletch Shaft. Nice to meet you. Apparently, I'm the only person that followed Nicostrex's instructions to the T because I was told to write 1 to 2 sentences of backstory.
Where's your oak face? Where's your oak face?
I was the love child of a member of the Australian regional all-male strip group Manpower and a birch tree. My mother was the tree, but unfortunately she died when I was younger. But she did, before she passed, teach me the ways of archery. And I thought the only way to respect her presence in my life once she passed was to whittle her down into 1,000 arrows. So it's some sort of Oedipal story that I carry with me, my mother's bones whittled into the arrows that I use to kill my enemies with. It's some sort of metaphor. I haven't quite put my finger on what it means. I have no idea how I'm here though, but from what I could tell, it's very stony.
Sure is.
Hey, man.
How tragic that
Right
your mother
on.
died in.
What a
How tragic your
tale.
mother died in childbirth.
Excellent. Jokes about my dead mother, always appreciated from a stranger.
No worries, Fletch. I'm Mangus. This is Hex. And how did we get in here?
That's an excellent
I don't know
question.
who
I
that-
don't
who I was
remember
talking to.
anything that happened before this, prior to me wandering the woods, looking for inspiration and new poems to kind of muse over, such as this one by a poet that I often love to cite, Wanderlust. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Sigh, so monochromatic. Allow me to be emphatic. I am far darker and much more dramatic. So, to your posed question, my answer shall be monosyllabic. No.
Wild, man. That was sweet.
Just a
Some
mere trifle.
beautiful
Just a mere
work.
trifle. There's many poems I love to spring into at will. But what?
I don't get it.
Mangus, I can't believe I'm going to say this to the guy who's constantly shape-shifting into an orc, but you seem like the most normal person here, and I think you and I should hang out.
Agreed.
Oh, God.
Holy shit, you're in the circus, man?
I'm a thief and a rogue, and I take on many forms, and I'll only do it once or twice because it gets quite annoying, especially.
Were you cosplaying as me?
I was cosplaying as the problematic Johnny Depp in the film The Lone Ranger.
Gotcha.
So I'm looking around the room now, and apart from the fact that everything's stone, there does seem to be a door here, but it seems pretty sealed shut. Has anyone tried to open this door yet?
Wait, there's a door?
I thought that was just a wall.
I was hazy and unconscious, and still just kind of lying on the ground, getting my bearings. But I'm fairly certain a voice said a door closed and they glimpsed a forest on the outside, but maybe I was just, it was a contact high from someone nearby.
Maybe inspect that door, Fletch.
I walk over and run my hands lovingly above it, but I do it in the way that my father taught me, where I throw my hands up against the wall and then I bring them down slowly, push my butt out, and then whip it back. The door shake. I don't even need to roll my magic dice that I carry around. The door is immune to my charms.
It is indeed. Thank you for
that was sweet.
Thanks.
So as you look around the room, you see, yes, the door that slid shut, but behind where you guys woke up is a staircase that descends down into darkness. At the bottom of the staircase, you can see a door, and pinned to the door, you can see what looks to be a blue slip of parchment.
Oh, slip of parchment. Shotgun.
Maybe it's another Wanderlust original.
I'm going to scurry down the stairs and yank the parchment from the door.
Sure.
To read it.
So you take the parchment and it looks to be some kind of blueprint. This is your map for the dungeon, and it's a magic map. You don't know this yet, but it will magically update with new locations as you travel from room to room.
Oh my
God.
God.
That is a shit-looking dungeon. Or a short-looking dungeon.
Dungeon looks more like a hallway.
Yes. So yes, there is a door at the bottom of this staircase. You are welcome to progress when you are ready.
All right, well, I don't want to stay in this cave with you lot for ages, especially if what you say is true, Fletch, and a contact high is a very real possibility.
It is.
I've never done drugs, and I don't intend to right now, unless we are talking about certain arcane potions, which I may or may not have dabbled with at some point, which I don't really talk about because...
You got any
I
on
push
you, man?
past and head down the hall.
That's part of my haunted past. Should we try the door?
Yeah, I don't see
That's
why
good.
not. Let me just flick on a quick little light cantrip, eh? Might be able to, not fall over our feet.
Hey?
Doink.
Okay, you cast the cantrip and emit a tiny little orb of light at the end of your hand. Steph, I assume you're going to open the door?
Yeah, I'm just going to open it.
Sure.
I'm just going to go. I'm just going to get my shoulder. And I'm just going to go and just nudge it open.
The door just gives way quite easily, and you hear a little from the map, and you see that it has drawn another room for you. This room, as you enter it, is dark and smells like a pet store. It's wood chips and warm shit down here. A bunch of bats flap around the room, but they look harmless.
Before we go in there, I don't want to cast myself as the stereotypical himbo of the group, but did anyone else just realize that the map was a top down of a staircase? Because that was certainly a revelation for me.
He says, plummeting down the stairs.
Oh, gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, there.
We traveled through the stripy hallway.
Yes.
I thought this was a crossroads, a crosswalk.
Spiros, surely you should head in first with your little ball of light.
Yeah, all right, man. Follow me.
Okay.
Yeah, Spiros heads on in. Pretty confident, even though he's just woken up. He's kind of like he few fucks to give at the moment. Smells bad, but he's pretty confidently stepped in there.
There are 4 bats, and at the sight of your light, they immediately attack the 4 of you. Everyone roll initiative.
What?
Oh shit, man.
Oh, crap.
Oh. For flavor, Nigrotex, I'm going to follow chat, and my light cantrip is shaped like a joint with a ball at the end. There's like a wisp of rolled joint at the tail of the ball.
Is this where rolling a 20 means nothing because it just means you go first?
It does mean you just go first. What did everyone roll? Could you read for me?
I rolled
This
a 22.
is just the regular D20. This is just the regular D20 roll, correct?
Yeah, but you can
there
roll
is
the
a
plus
button
initiative.
called. there's initiative. You'll see just above
character sheet.
Yeah, roughly. In the
yes,
Mangus the titular rolled a perfect 20 plus 2 for 22.
I got a 21.
I rolled a 16.
Yep. Perfect.
I'm a 10.
Okay. Mangoose, you are going first. What would you like to do?
I step into the room, draw my crossbow. I'm Sean Connery. Sorry. I step into the room, draw my crossbow, and take aim at the closest bat before firing.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to give me the hit roll on that?
Mm-hmm. How do I do that?
So you're going to click the button next to your... Oh, do you have your crossbow? I don't see a crossbow equipped on you.
I think he should have a crossbow because it goes with his tattoo.
I thought my understanding was that Mangus the titular wielded 2 daggers, which is why I chose a crossbow.
I draw my 2 daggers and leave it threat at the closest bat I can find.
Perfect. Do you want to give me... So you're going to click the +4 next to one of your daggers to strike?
Shit, this is why I suck at this game. Next to my daggers?
It'll be in actions on your character sheet.
Actions?
You'll see.
Oh, I was
your
still in
weapon.
my backstory. Daggers. Yeah, daggers for days. Let's do this. 21. Like
That hits very, very well. Okay, so because you hit the bat, you can click the button next to it, which will roll the damage.
Can't get rid of my backstory. There we are. Click damage.
Neither can we.
There we are. And it's a 6. It's a bat.
Perfect.
6 damage.
It rips the bat in half. You successfully kill one of the 4 bats quite easily. Fletch, you are next.
Sorry, Mangus is having an existential crisis over there in the corner.
Contact eyes really kick it in.
You're now holding the cantrip.
I turn to face the closest bat, make eye contact with it, and rip my leather breeches off. They are, of course, Velcro or whatever the fantasy equivalent of Velcro is. I rip them off, swing them around my head, and throw them at the bat as some sort of cape / ninja star.
Don't you have a bow?
Okay. I'm going to do
He doesn't want to waste
with my
his
mother's bones. I'm not going to
he
waste
doesn't want to
mummy
waste his one
on
of
the
his
bat.
mum arrows.
Okay,
Use my
I'm going to have the bat roll a charisma saving throw, and as you are particularly charismatic, let's just say the pants land on top of the bat and bring it straight down to the ground. The bat is flapping underneath the pants, but it is currently held by those pants.
I just want to do a follow-up action. Where I roll towards the bat, and then I do that thing where they kind of hump but make no physical contact with a member of the audience. So I'm just going to keep the bat essentially dominated on the ground in front of everybody.
Oh my God.
Perfect. Next up is Hex. What do you do?
How many bats are remaining?
There are 3 bats alive. One of them is underneath Nick's pants.
Okay, so 2 bats in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to draw my crossbow out, and as I'm aiming it at one of the bats, what? No, I can't. That would be crazy. Stop it. No. Fine. Okay. I'm going to aim my bow at the wall where there's a particular shiny surface where I can calculate the perfect angle to ricochet off the wall and then shoot back towards the 2 bats and go in between them, striking them both in one fell swoop.
Okay. Pants move.
Shish kebab.
A shish kebab.
All right. Give me a roll on your crossbow. I'm going to give you advantage because that seems like a great idea.
Attack, crossbow. And am I hitting the hit points?
The +4.
Yeah.
You're going to roll it twice, and we're going to see which one's better, and we're going to use that.
Ooh, not bad, though.
Ooh, 18's pretty good.
And a 19.
Yeah,
I
nice.
got a 19.
Okay. Can you click the damage next to them? You manage to skewer both of the bats up against the opposite wall.
Twice?
8 damage. You kill them both in one fell swoop.
All right, fine. You're right this time, but next time I'm not going to listen to what you say. So stop.
Okay, it is now the bat's turn, and there is only one alive bat underneath Nick's pants. It's going to roll to try and escape. It does not successfully escape. Spiros, it's your turn.
Yep. I'm still reacting to the blood of the first one that Mangus cut in half. And so I go, oh man, and I lift my shield and I block the flood of blood and gut that is flying through the air to come at me, and I just am trying to protect my my face and my clothes from the gizzards of the first bat. So I don't attack. I'm surprised and I go, ugh, and I'm just trying to defend myself from falling bat bits.
Yeah, perfect. That's fine. Mangus, it is your turn.
I'm covered in bat blood.
Is that my fault? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
No, that was from me. I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. So I grab my dagger and push Fletch off his own pants before stabbing wildly at the crotch of the pants on the ground.
Okay. Give me an attack with your dagger at disadvantage. So you'll roll it twice and we'll take whichever one's lower.
Rightio.
Because you don't know where the bat is.
That's a good point. Well, I got a 20. And the next one is a 19.
Okay. You put a hole directly into Fletcher's pants, but you do manage to stab the bat through the pants. Congratulations, you have successfully passed your first and what will likely be the only battle in this entire campaign.
Hooray!
D&D nerds! We did it! We rolled your initiative, we did your fucking maths. All right. So you have 2 bats.
He hates D&D almost as much as I do.
You have 2 bats speared up against the wall. You have a dead bat underneath Nick's pants, and you have 1 bat split in half on the floor. The room is still full of piles of bat shit. What would you like to do?
Well, we shouldn't look past the fact that Mangus has also created the first pair of pants with a fly.
Incredible.
And we also shouldn't look past the fact, although ideally I would like you to look past the fact, I only brought the 1 pair of fantasy Velcro pants. So if you could all turn around, I need to put these back on, but it's very annoying having to get the clips, the Velcro on both sides. So it actually takes a while and it's kind of clumsy. Ironically, I'm a little ashamed when people are looking at me when I'm not performing. So yeah, I'm just going to struggle with the pants for a bit if you could all focus on something else.
Whoa, you guys were awesome, man. That was so cool. There were like guts flying and I was like, whoa. And you were like, you kebabbed them. That was crazy.
Kebab!
Is that shit?
I think we're standing.
Are you decent?
I am. For your dignity, I've chosen to put the new hole, in the back. So it's both not visible particularly to you and also relatively practical for me.
I step forward into the middle of the room before proclaiming guano. And then continuing through the room.
I'm going to grab the 2 skewered rats that I shish kebabbed with my arrow, and I'm gonna just tuck them into my bag because I'm probably gonna be hungry later, and you guys will too. So
That's fair.
Don't at me.
Totally fair.
While she's picking up the bats, I walk over to Hellballs and just tap him on the shoulder. Can I just ask you something?
Yeah, bro, what's up?
Did you notice that Hex was kind of talking to someone during that?
Yeah, man. I do that all the time, man. It's like they're out to get you, and you're like, oh my god, like are the police out the window or whatever the equivalent is in a medieval ye olde fantasy land? Like you're like, whoa, am I from the future where there's like vehicles with wheels and engines? And I'm like, whoa, no, that's crazy paranoia, man. It's just a horse.
I walk up to Hex Scardy and whisper, I don't trust that Spiros guy. I think we should leave without him.
I look at Spiros. Spiros, can I ask, do you think that jet fuel can melt steel beams?
Man, I reckon if you roll it up tight enough and light it, you could melt anything.
All right. I back away.
Anyone cop any hits then? I can drop you a couple of cleric tricks I've got up my sleeve. Who wants a heal, huh?
I'm good, man.
All right.
I'm fine, but thank you.
Just let me know. I smoke my
We
cleric.
should probably get out of this room full of shit.
I was just about to say the same thing. It's starting to make my nose turn, and also I've got bats to cook, so if we could just get moving, my stomach's rumbling a little bit.
Okay, so there is a door to the north. I assume you just want to head through. Just for a point of order, unless I say otherwise, all of the doors in this dungeon are unlocked and non-trapped.
We consider that a dungeon then, or is that just a house?
It's kind of just a house. Okay, so this room has some accompanying music.
Shoddy not first, man.
This room is sort of trapezoidal, with doors to the east, north, and south. In the center of the room is a giant golden statue of what appears to be an anthropomorphic denim pocket-looking thing, holding its hands outstretched as if it's casting some kind of spell over its subjects. Surrounding the golden pocket appear to be around 20 or so statues of all different shapes, sizes, and subjects, all made out of stone. What do you do?
Does anyone else not trust the map that didn't make a noise when it drew on a new room? That's better.
This is not what I expected to see here after the stinky poo bat room, I have to say. What do you suppose this statue is?
I'm more intrigued by these stone statues around. I look closer and inspect the stone statues surrounding the golden anthropomorphic denim pocket.
Okay, Gus, can you roll me a d20?
Certainly can, voice.
Just a flat d20.
Be careful, man.
I get a 6.
Okay.
Where are those 20?
So you approach... No, this is just a random chance thing, not a it's not good or bad. You approach one of the statues, and it looks to be a statue of a real cute-looking boy with impeccable fashion sense, holding a sign in the shape of a diamond.
I want to keep this one, I yell to the group. I'm taking this one home as a trophy.
Wait, man, can you collect the whole set? That's awesome.
I run over and start looking at some as well.
Okay, give me a roll.
Yep. All right.
Prep rolls for me, everyone, if you want to look.
Another 10.
A 10. The statue that you're looking at depicts a dog with a hat standing victoriously and saluting.
I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. This statue depicts a man surrounded by 52 birthday cakes, and each cake has one more candle than the cake to the left of it.
Oh, it's a riddle.
I rolled a 2. I am the himbo.
This statue depicts an anglerfish on some kind of board with a name tag pinned to its chest. On the name tag are the words, "My name is," but the rest seems to be scribbled out.
Lost to time, man, like the girl bass.
Weird.
I walk towards the only thing in the room that I can associate with, and that is appears to be the torn parts of a pair of pants. The giant gold pocket. I reach up and attempt to rip off, which is the only thing I really know how to do with pants.
I reach quickly to Fletch and say, "Halt, Fletch! Your need for gold and more wealth will surely consume you."
And get us all killed.
You big dick.
So the statue of the golden pocket doesn't appear to be interactable in any way. But Nick, could you give me an investigation roll, please?
Yes, I can. How?
So if you look at the skills in the middle, they should be in alphabetical order.
In classic himbo fashion, it's a 4.
Cool. It appears to be a golden statue.
Guys, it's a golden statue.
Oh man, there's something more here, right? Like
there must be something that we're missing.
It shines, man.
And I'll have.
I like the little stone boy one I found first.
Because it's anthropomorphic, I'm going to use a medicine check to see if it's healthy.
Oh my god.
Are you allowing
the statue does not react.
Okay, man.
I'm not going to make you roll to do that.
Nah, this ain't alive. It's a statue. That's for real.
I reach down to the ground and
I feel a kinship with Hellballs.
I reach down to the ground and try and find a rock, small stone, and then throw it at the statue to see if anything happens.
Okay, you throw the stone at the statue, and with a pink, it just kind of ricochets off.
With a what?
With a pink.
You said bink. Now it's
There was
pink.
a bink before, yeah. Can you please?
Yeah.
It's the
I'm
We're
trying
trying to
statue.
determine the density of the object that we're throwing.
How gold
stones
it
at.
is. I throw a second rock. What noise
Okay,
does it make?
the second rock goes. Dong!
Ah, this is
Ooh.
fun.
I walk up to the pocket and I place my hands against it and I just take a deep breath. It feels like it's alive with something, like there's something
Oh, man, it's not
that can
alive.
be
I just
charmed
checked.
out of
Did a
it.
medicine check.
No, I know, but it's like a feeling of like an energy that just burns within it, and I feel like we can coax it out somehow.
Hex, can you give me an investigation check?
I will, but I'm going to sing to it first.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, absolutely.
This is a song. This is a song derived from an old poem by a great poet I once knew by the name of Laughing Seal. And Laughing Seal wrote a poem that goes something like this. Just past dusk, and I'm sitting on my bed upstairs at the inn. How I hate to stand by as murderers sin. Shrieking maids, screaming outside the window as I see a man run by. And it puts me into a rage to see him die. There's no hero to call, no one to save them all. Give me a blade after sundown. Won't somebody aid me and chase the demons away? Give me a bow after sundown. Lead them through the darkness to the break of the day. Laughing Seal. I look
I
expectantly
throw
towards
another
the
rock
pocket.
at the statue.
The statue flies past Hex's head and dong, off the statue.
Statue.
The statue flies past Hex's head.
Oh,
Sorry,
God.
the rock. I apologize.
I rolled initiative for my song.
Wasn't
Investigation?
asked of you, but sure.
Oh, it was investigation. Damn it.
You definitely
Yeah.
did sing first.
Where's investigation?
In the list, the big list in the middle.
The big list in the middle. Investigation. Yep, I see it. Roll a 2.
Are you
Okay.
plus 5?
Yeah,
Oh, it's a 7.
it's a 7. You can see at the base of the pocket statue there is a very, very tiny plaque, but you can't quite make out what is inscribed on it.
Spiros, bring
And
me
the
your
plaque
flaming
became
ball.
visible because of the sound vibrations from my singing in the room that
no,
shook free
Spiros-
some of the loose. Okay.
Spiros, get your flame ball. The hell
man,
ball
all
over
right.
here.
It's, I mean,
I'm
it's just
just-
a cantrip, man. It's just some light, eh? It's not.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
breathe on the plaque like this, and then just like rub it with my sleeve so I can see what it says there. What does that say?
I'll have a close look. I'm quite perceptive.
Okay. Give me a perception or investigation, whichever you feel.
I'm quite animal handling.
I got a 15.
Perfect. So
Wow.
I am going to DM to you the text on the plaque.
Whoa, man. It says, "Don't worry."
Spiros, what do your elven eyes see?
It says Uruk's turn northeast, and they're taking the hobbits to Isengard. Right, man.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Is that one of your songs, Hexgardy?
Never heard of it.
All right. Well, actually,
sure, but it checks out.
yeah. Hang on. There's more written here. It says, "Don't worry. These are not real people turned to stone, man. They're just cool-looking statues put here to intrigue you. It's probably nothing. Maybe just move on." Is this fucking statue trolling us, man?
Yeah, this is. Yeah, these are definitely people. I walk up closer to one of the statues. Is there any way that I can, as I run my hands over it, move it, turn it, twist it, flip it, flop it, grope it,
Bop it.
bop it?
No, so the statue doesn't appear to be movable in any way. It is pretty firmly inset into the ground. But you do notice that as you look at that statue and you look at the statue next to it and you look at all the other statues, you kind of realize that they're not carved in any particularly flattering or artsy way. They don't seem to be posed as such, and more
These are all
like
uggos.
subjects in them have, well, it's more like the subjects have been frozen at a random point in time.
So it sounds like they are people turned to stone. And the plaque was wrong.
Oh, it's trying to fool us. And if we
the
stay
plaque
here
was-
any longer, if the plaque was wrong, who would have bothered writing the plaque out? Do you know how hard it is to engrave into steel? Or whatever
I'm going back to the
available
shit
to us?
room.
Spiros, is there some reason you would want us to leave this place when it
Yeah,
feels
literally
like
the sign
to
said,
me?
man. I'm just trying to follow the sign's orders, man.
I quickly run over to the door in the northwest, east. I look at my map. I head to the door in the northeast, and I push it just to test that it opens.
It does open. Can you give me a perception check?
I can indeed. I attempt to glance through the crack in the door with a sweet 16 of a roll.
As you approach that door, you can hear two voices arguing in what appears to be Goblin on the other side.
I turn back to the party and say,
Lovely party.
"Lovely party. We invited goblins." I say, "I think we're not alone in here."
Who's out there?
Goblins?
I speak goblin. Out of the way. No, I will. Stop it. You do. You do.
Hellball, she's doing the thing again. Hellball,
Okay.
she's doing the thing again.
Yeah, man. It's,
All right, I'm just gonna
little
just
odd,
lean
but
up
let's see
against
where
the
it
door
leads, eh?
and just
I'm
listen
Canadian
in,
sometimes.
try and see if I can hear what the goblins are arguing about.
Okay, Hex, can you give me a perception roll?
Yep.
Goblins? Ghouls?
2. I rolled a 2.
You can't hear anything. In fact, you think that Mangus is lying about the voices on the other side.
Mangus, I can't hear shit, man. What's going on? Are you lying to me?
My lady. I hastily then shove Hexgardy through the door.
Okay.
what the hell is happening, Fletch?
You hear a on the map as it adds a new room, and in this room, let me just queue up this. 2 pissed off goblins are in here chattering in their native language, and between them is the dead body of a third goblin. All of them look alike. So maybe they're related, or maybe you're just racist. Behind them is a pile of glittering treasure, wealth beyond reckoning, and it could be yours. What do you do?
I yell, "Told you!" from the other room and shut the door.
Wait, Fletcher and I still in the other room? I will.
We're all in the same room with Mangus. It's just Hexcardi in the other room.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, let's maybe not split the party because it sucks when everyone when that happens.
You mean let's not betray the party?
I say, not cool, man, and I follow through, and I leave the door
huddle
open
us all
behind
through
me.
together.
Yeah. No.
I look at Mangus, dick move, and run through behind Hellbots.
Your pants are broken.
Okay, so the two goblins kind of snap to attention with all of you suddenly pouring into the room, and they kind of quickly stand up and kind of shuffle next to each other to block the dead body that's behind them. And they go, "Who are you? What do you want?"
In English?
I don't want to alarm anyone.
in the common tongue?
Gobblish?
No, so they recognize that you were people and spoke in common.
And sorry, do we know the dead body? Do we know if it's a goblin body, human body?
It is.
It's a goblin body.
It's another goblin.
Yeah.
What happened to your friend, man?
The goblin on the left goes, "Nothing. Don't worry about it."
Well, I mean,
I turn my attention to the goblin on the right and say, "Is everything all right?"
The goblin on the right.
Blink twice if you're in trouble.
The goblin on the right just kind of looks over at the goblin on the left and is like, "Nothing. Everything's fine here. None of those other doors are locked, so you can just move on." So there is a door to the north and a door to the east.
I spin around to the rest of the party. The way this goblin talks sounds exactly like the person who wrote that plaque. I feel like we shouldn't trust anything he's saying.
Yeah, man. You're probably right.
I'm going to. I will step forward and look at both the goblins one by one. And then I'm going to put my hands on my hips and say, in perfect goblin, listen, I have 2 questions for you. 1, what's the deal with that pocket in the other room and all the little statues around it? And don't lie, because I'm an elf and I know. 2, what happened to your friend? And is it connected to that rather juicy looking pile of treasure behind you?
And I step up beside her and equally put my hands on my hips and say, and 3, do you have a needle and thread?
Excuse me, do you speak goblin?
I'm fluent in goblin.
Dungeon Master,
Goblin.
is he fluent in goblin?
No. I'm fluent in goblin.
Okay.
Goblin on D's nuts.
Hey, inspiration for the DMs.
So the first goblin goes, to answer your first question, I don't know. The golden pocket thing has always been there. He just kind of, the statues only appeared yesterday though. And then he goes, "Sorry, what was your second question?"
I'm going to roll my eyes and be like, why is your friend dead? Did you murder him?
He goes, "No, it's nothing you need to worry about." Yeah. Can you roll an insight check on that?
Steph.
11.
You get the vibe that he's full of shit, but you can't quite place it anything more than that.
I throw my hood back and charge forward at the goblin on the right, pinning him up against the wall, pulling a dagger from my Holt and holding it up to his neck as well and say, "All right, you little shit, what the hell's going on here? I want the actual truth. This isn't, you're pulling the wool over our eyes." But I say it all in that sexy accent.
I want the truth.
Okay, so I think we can say you take him by surprise, so I'm not going to make you roll for that. But the one thing I will say is that as you're pushing up against the wall, you notice that he just jingles. There is a jingling noise coming from his body as you do that.
Let me hear you make that jingling sound, please. I just need to paint the tapestry.
Ching,
for me.
ching, 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 ching.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Once more,
hang on, I roughed him up again. Let me hear it again.
Ching, 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 ching.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So not loaded, but like a little bit of like silver in the pockets or something.
Yeah, potentially.
With my other
One more
hand,
time?
I reach in.
Ching, ching, ching.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. Cool.
While I pin him with one arm, I reach into his little waistcoat with my other hand, start feeling that little gob body all up and down.
You feel
for the source of the coins, like pockets and stuff.
Bro,
You feel-
that's not cool.
you feel nothing in his pockets. In fact, it doesn't appear that he even has any pockets.
Sacrilege.
Classic Bilbo.
He swallowed them.
Well,
Make him poop. Make him poop. Make him poop.
him poop.
Make him poop. I look around at
poop.
everybody else. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Make him
Can I do a
Make him
medicine check
poop.
to
Make
know
him
if
poop.
goblins would absorb any metals that they consume, or if they'd just pass right through?
I don't know that they would
Trying to-
absorb them. No.
Yeah.
Before-
But like, should I check my medical knowledge?
yeah,
history?
you can, yeah. Let's roll medicine.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. 22 with my bonus. So I'm pretty
Yeah, okay.
sure. Yo, man, I'm pretty sure the goblins are gonna. If they did eat something metal, they're just gonna shit it right out. We can wait.
No, we can't wait. But that's okay. I am always prepared before a show. My father taught me that it's always unfortunate if you go on stage with a full stomach. You don't want a happy little accident to happen while you're on someone's lap. So I pull out a small vial of liquid. I toss it in the air, draw my longbow, pull back, and shoot an arrow at the flask directed at the goblin's mouth.
Okay. Can you give me a dexterity roll, please?
Are you shooting is the aim to shoot the
Liquid
flask into
laxative
the...
out of the air.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
it
Yeah. Liquid
splashes
laxative.
into
Yeah,
his
yeah.
mouth.
I mean, I
Hex
should
Guardian?
have
Have
him
that on
pinned against a wall. This seems an elaborate way to make.
This
him
is
consume
not
a
my
boat.
first time. I roll a 20.
Fuck.
You do exactly that. The goblin starts uncontrollably shitting itself, and 50 gold pieces pour out of its anus.
I
God,
walk
this
over.
is
I walk over
worse than
to
the
him
bat poop room.
and I start stroking his hair. I'm like, "That's it, baby. You're getting show ready."
Okay, and with that stroke, a further 20 gold pieces come out.
Oh. I've heard that line before.
I pocket a couple for my trouble and then push the rest over to the group.
Oh man, like
I
are all you
unpinned
guys
this goblin from
pinatas?
the wall.
What are you doing?
The goblin dead on the floor. I'm thinking maybe he was the lucky one.
Ate one too many
I think
pieces
he was
of gold,
the cause
man.
of the payout that we're seeing there, and he might have cashed out more than he could bargain.
Clearly, someone was in here before and was just playing this goblin for hours, but gave up and left. And we walk in, and it's just the first hit, and boom, jackpot, baby.
I point to the other goblin and I say, if you don't want to end up like your friend, aka shitting all over the floor uncontrollably, you're gonna start talking.
Okay,
I walk up next to Hex Guardian and also look intimidating and go, but you will feel fabulous afterwards.
You will look great.
the goblin goes, okay. We had a bet about who could eat the most gold, and I got to 100 pieces, and he got to 100 pieces, but he points to the dead one on the floor and goes, he got to 200, and then he just kind of died. And you look down and you see that there is indeed gold coins just kind of scattered around his mouth.
I lean forward to that goblin and do that thing that parents do when they kind of hoik their pants up and sort of lean forward as if to have a chat to them. And I say, they do that thing where they do this one, where they do they're like.
All right.
Yeah.
A very special conversation.
You're a stupid little race of goblins, aren't you? I say.
Jesus.
The goblin just goes, yeah.
Yes, you are. Who's full of gold? You are.
Man, I mean, there's a lot of gold here, but I'm kind of inclined to just fucking leave, man.
There's a big pile of gold in the corner as well. Like my feeling would be like, let's take some of the gold pile and leave the shit covered gold for the next lot of adventurers, maybe.
And I agree. I walk over to the gold pile and I just begin shoveling it into my mouth. I'm just handful after handful of gold coins.
Did you learn nothing? I'm stopping him. I'm taking it. I'm in your pockets, dude.
I'm too strong for that stoned little shit, and I just...
Who's got the constitution?
Nick.
Okay.
Constitution.
Oh, good.
Dude, no.
Oh, where's constitution?
Along the top.
Saving throws top left.
Yep. I roll a 10.
You do manage to eat 5 of the coins, but you start choking on the 6th coin.
Oh God.
Oh man, here we go. All right, I'm gonna have to give you the old Heimler.
Hellballs Heimlich.
Like Hellballs Heimlich. Mr.
I walk
Heimlich,
over to Fletch and do that thing where their pants are going and go, you're a stupid one, Elvon.
Spiros, can you give me a strength? Can you give me a strength for the Heimlich?
Yeah, all right.
I'm just gonna hold my hand out in front of him and say, spit it out. Spit it.
Nice. Yeah, a gold coin comes flying out of Fletcher's mouth and lands in Hex's arm.
Man,
well, that's one.
You only eat the you only eat the half gold coins, not the whole gold.
Oh, he's doing it again.
All right, just let him die, man. I don't give a fuck anymore.
All right, your turn.
I pick up the coins and put them in my bag.
Okay, so there is 100 gold pieces on the floor. There's 100 gold pieces on the floor. Do you want to just take... I'm going to say Nick managed to eat 10 of them.
Just very quickly.
Nick has to leave the theater of the mind.
My partner walked in and thought that I was choking to death.
If you're going to die, do it on stream.
Wow. Commitment to the bit.
To which he turned to his partner and said, I'm just that good at it. Play. Oh, dear.
Yeah, man, like, I'd be cool splitting it all, like, 1/5 each. Now, how many of us are? There's only 4 of us, because Nick's not playing, man. Let's take a quarter each. That guy's not here, is he? He's not here. Did you guys see that guy? Did you see him? No? Okay. Okay, let's do a quarter, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, just to be clear, though, we're not including the amount that Fletch already swallowed, because that would be unfair.
I think he ate the ones that were covered in shit, though, so...
If you want, I could bring it back out. I draw out another vial and pull out my longbow. I toss the vial in the air and aim up.
No.
Okay.
Dexterity roll.
Dexterity roll, please.
Oh, no.
It's a 16.
Fuck. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that does it. You swallow the vial whole.
Unfortunately, the vial didn't break. So it's now, I've got a full vial in my stomach, which means it's okay. This has happened before. My stomach acid will eventually break the vial down, but it's not going to be for a couple of hours. So
this means that at any moment in the future, you could spontaneously shit yourself?
I yell to the group, he's a shitting time bomb.
Wow. I hope that doesn't come back to bite us.
Okay, so you have an exit to the north and an exit to the east. What would you like to do? You also have an exit to the north from the pockety room.
Oh.
Yeah, that door behind the statue. Look, man, look. I reckon we go north. There's something about it, man. It just feels like going home.
I agree with the stoner. Let's go.
Okay. So heading north,
God, that
This dusty old circular room features nothing but a treasure chest sitting in the middle of it with an unseen spotlight pointing down in it, and you sense that bling is imminent.
I immediately grab Fletcher's arm and hold him back.
All right, man. Let me check this one out. I go up and I kick the chest to try and like kick it open.
Okay, can you give me a dexterity saving throw, please?
Fuck. Fuck. 7.
Okay, you are going to take
No,
6 damage as a buzzsaw flies out of the chest and cuts into you.
guys, they put a fucking buzzsaw. Ah, my fucking foot. Ah,
Jesus,
shit.
are you okay?
No, a fucking buzzsaw cut my foot open, man. Holy shit.
I walk up confidently now the buzzsaw and think, well, clearly there's only one buzzsaw. And I kick it as well.
Okay, when you kick the chest for the second time, the chest just pops open. You inside, you see
What's in it, man?
You see 200 gold pieces and 3 vials. Can you give me an Arcana check to see if you can tell what the 3 vials are?
While he's doing that, I rip off a pant leg and tie it around Hellbowl's stomach because I seem to be the only person concerned about the fact that he's bleeding out on the floor in front of us.
Thanks, Shaft, man, but like, that ain't gonna do nothing, you know? Like, you gotta put it around my calf or something. Cut the blood flow a little closer to the wound.
Someone like Keanu over here just die.
Fletch, man.
I have a very low medicine.
You did a pretty good job, though, man.
That was a pretty good job.
Good, though. That was
You
a good roll.
managed to staunch the bleeding.
Tell you what, you know, you spend 35 years in an industry. You don't know everything. That's nice, man. Thanks so much.
I'm feeling particularly arcanous as I look at the chest.
Cool. So you can see that 2 of the vials are exactly the same, and they are standard healing potions. But the third vial is one that you have not seen before. The third vial appears to be a slightly cloudy bottle of what looks to be water, and there's a label on the vial that just says genuine amethyst water.
Okay, I grab a healing potion and flick it towards Spyros. Heads up, I shout as I throw it across the room unnecessarily.
Got it.
Before reaching in, I think you might cut that out. Pocketing 1 health potion and turning inquisitively to the group and say, anyone, what did it say? Amaranth what? Amaranth?
Amaranth. Genuine amethyst water.
It's not amaranth.
Does anyone know what amaranth
water.
bath water is?
God damn.
Okay, I look at the rest of the group. I mean, is anyone else getting... I know I'm the stripper. Is anyone else getting a weird vibe for this Mangas guy? Like, pushes the only woman in the group in through the door to die, immediately starts slinging racial slurs at the goblins, pocketed the
I
health
fondled
potion.
it. I fondled the goblin.
Fondled the goblin. Yeah.
I snatch the bottle of amethyst water from Mangus's hand and I hold it up to the light and I look at it and then
sacred bathwater.
I don't know what this is, but I think you should have it back.
I snatch it back.
I say, let me have a look.
Nick snatches it off me.
I snatch it away. I open the top up and I take a really deep... I was about to smell it, but it's gone from my hand.
I snatched it and I put a new seal on it. And I say, no sniffing, man, until we work out what it is, you know?
I snatch it off Pete.
Oh, God damn it.
I break the seal and I throw it back and I drink it.
Okay.
I drink half of it.
Okay.
You can't, no, you're already down, man.
You already drank it.
You threw your neck back.
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
I look at while he's doing that. I look at the other two. It's fine. We have ways of getting it out of his stomach.
Ooh, 6.
It tastes like soapy water.
You were right, man. Don't tell me you were right, man.
Oh God. I hiccup and a bubble comes out.
I look at everyone else in the group.
Way.
I think Mengus trod on the punchline.
Throw a punchline saving throw. Why, it's nothing but simple soapy water, I say.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to do anything. It doesn't seem to have any effect on you so far.
All right. Hey,
I seal the bottle and pop it in my pocket.
Cool.
This has been a shit room, man. As far as the rooms that we've been in so far are concerned, like this one kind of sucked.
Hey, you got a healing potion out of it for your buzzsword leg.
Is the shit room?
Not a fan of the room.
But he only got buzzsword because of the room.
The room, it was all the room. I did drink one of those potions. What were they? Is it a?
So that is a 2d6 plus 2 healing. So
Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have had it. 2. I'll plus 2 myself. Yeah, it was 9, so I'm back to full.
Yep, you're back to full. Okay, so you can head west from this room, east from this room, or east from the treasure room.
Let's go east. Should we go back to the treasure room and go through the other way? I feel like we should check that last door.
There's so many doors. There's a door off the pockety statue room. Well, there's a door off the treasure room as well.
Oh, that's true. Behind all the statues.
Yeah, man, I'm not going first.
Let's split up. Said no one.
Please
ever.
don't. Please don't.
I reckon we forge ahead. Let's go through the east. Let's go through the east door.
All right.
Okay.
I turn to Hex Guardian and say, "Well, we're already doing it." I say,
I'm like,
"That's your."
What do you say?
What do you say?
Well, I'm just checking if she agrees with herself. Is it just your opinion or anyone else's we should be checking?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're confident in this?
Don't talk about things that you don't understand, Mangus.
Fair call.
Mangus pushes her through the door.
Okay. So the map draws a new room, and in this room, against the northern wall, you see something huge. It's a smooth statue of a giant 5-toed foot, about 20 feet tall. A bone-shaped effigy sticks out of the top. Something shiny glints near the ceiling about 4 feet above what can only be described as the top of the stump. The opposite door, you notice, is locked.
Oh, man. Like, if this were, like, scaled down by, like, maybe... like a 20th its current size, it might make a good replacement for the sword that I just fucking buzzsawed. But alas, it's quite huge.
I look up as my penchant for shiny, attractive things, and I'm focusing on whatever's at the top of the stump. I squint my half-elf eyes. So one of them is an elf eye with really good vision, and the other one is just a shitty human eye. I shut what I think is the shitty human eye.
Yep. Give me perception.
Bring in some music for the shitty human eye.
I was right. I roll a 16.
Okay. You can see that the shiny thing above the stone foot it appears to be a plaque, but you are way too far away to be able to read whatever it says.
Is the plaque attached to it, or perchance for someone with a bow and arrow, is it balancing precariously?
It is not balancing precariously. It is on the wall behind the foot. So the foot is kind of up against the wall.
Is the wall attached to the ceiling and the floor, or is it perhaps, may chance, balancing precariously?
It is not balancing precariously.
You drop your bow and arrow in sadness.
I turn to the group. I'm out of ideas. I've got nothing.
All I reckon we should check around for traps. This looks sus AF.
Agreed. I walk up to the foot and I smell it.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. The foot just smells like stone.
I lick it.
Interesting.
It tastes like foot.
It somehow tastes like foot.
It tastes like sweet foot, I tell the rest of the party.
Well, since you're up there, what does the plaque say?
I climb on top of the statue to get a better look at the plaque.
Perfect. Give me an acrobatics check because it is made of very smooth stone.
Oh, I'm super acrobatic.
Don't fucking stack it.
Oh, fucking 23.
Oh, nice.
God.
You easily make it up there. So
I can't
Flip
read.
up there.
So standing on top of the foot, you kind of put your hand up against the bone thing sticking out behind it, and you lean in. Do you lean in to read the plaque?
You better believe I do.
Okay. You notice that the plaque says, "Say goodbye to your feet." Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, no. 20.
Okay. As you lean in to read the plaque, you hear a shing noise, and without quite understanding why, you leap backwards, but for some reason you find yourself falling backwards. You hit your head on the top of the statue and you take 2 damage. Everyone else sees something horrifying. Quicker than you could have reacted, a blade shot out of the wall at ankle height, severing one of your feet clean off. The bone sticking out of the top of the foot statue begins to glow, and your now severed foot pulls itself out of your shoe and begins levitating. With a loud, vibrating noise and a flash, the foot suddenly gets absorbed into the bone, and the bone stops glowing. You look down at where your foot used to be. There's no pain. There's no blood either. The end of your leg is completely healed over. Your shoe is sitting there empty, but that leg is now a stilt.
Hey man, can I have that shoe? Because mine got cut up.
Sure.
Remember when I said we should check for booby traps?
I put on that shoe.
I found a trap, I yelled back, Scotty.
And in that moment,
Wow.
you hear the door.
Hang on.
You don't get to hang on the DM. I'm sorry.
You don't get to shush the DM.
I reached for it was my left foot.
You can choose which foot with a 20 save.
I look down to my left leg where the stump is, and I turn to the other 3 in the party and I say, "I'm all right now."
I'm the only one that appreciates it, and I fucking love it. Clapping. That was very. That
was worth a
that
shot.
was very. That was
Shits
very
himself
funny.
laughing.
Yeah.
And then as a sign of respect in my profession, I grab the handful of coins and throw them at him up on the stage.
I take a bow. Cool.
And in that moment, you hear the door at the opposite end of the room unlock.
Sacrificial foot, man. Tale as old as time.
Let's get a hop along then, shall we?
Oh my god. You were born to have one foot, man. Like,
Okay.
Sucks.
so we keep going east.
Are we continuing to head east?
Yeah.
In for a penny,
Okay.
in for a pound.
Okay.
Of flesh.
Let's
So-
not just leave the foot room the way we came and forget what happened.
So
Well, it's been a good adventure, everybody.
there's more noise as another room gets drawn onto your map, and an innocuous-looking pedestal sits in the middle of this circular room. Atop the pedestal is an inviting red button. Engraved on the front of the pedestal is a sentence that none of you can read, no matter how hard you try. What do you do?
I try really hard. It's really hard to read. I've studied
While
reading so
Fletch
much.
is staring
rolled-
intently.
I roll a d20 because I think that's what you do in D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I get a 20.
Fuck. Okay. Okay. I've got to give you something now. That was a fucking natural 20. You feel in your heart of hearts that the engraving says probably something to the effect of each of us can only do one thing.
Yo, man, what do you feel? What are you feeling, Shaft?
Oh, yeah, sorry. In my heart of hearts, I feel like the plaque says each of us can only do one ting. Ting!
Well, that's you done, man, so... Oh, right.
Do you think we're going to need to choreograph something and do it at the same time?
I love that idea. All right, guys, I'm going to need you all to line up. We're going to start with some deep squats to just get the juices flowing. I roll for deep squats.
I mean, you go for it, man, but Magnus don't...
And this is the moment where you shit yourself. 10 of the gold coins come flying out of your anus right as you make it to the base of your squat.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. I'm not going to lie. That feels so much better.
Disgusting.
I pick up the coins, and before he can stop me, I shove them in Mangus's bag and say, "Thank you for bringing a pouch."
Awful.
I say it's all right and get none of the laughs I got the first time.
Well, I feel like Mangus sacrificed himself in the previous room, so it only makes sense that you, Shaft, the relentless shitter, who have subjected us to a literal river of shit at every turn of this fucking dungeon, should go forth and press the button and see what happens.
If he gets a third foot out of this, I'll be furious.
I don't like that idea, and I emphatically slam my hand down on the plinth in defiance, accidentally hitting the button.
Okay. You accidentally hit the button, and with a pop, a strange-looking mannequin-looking thing appears in front of you. It's humanoid. It's kind of plasticky, but not quite. It doesn't seem to have a face. It looks like EC from Liftoff. And a voice.
Memory back.
A voice somehow comes out of it, and it goes,
"Hey, it's me, Gat. What can I do for you?"
My instincts take over, my training takes control of my body, and I immediately begin to ride up and down the body in front of me, spinning, twirling, gyrating, and dancing. It's my only defense mechanism.
Gat goes,
"This is lovely, but what can I do?"
One thing. One thing, man, just the one thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
just do one thing, man. Just do one thing. Yeah, you got to come up with it. Suck shit.
Does it only react when we touch it? I slap it hard across the face.
You slap it hard across the face, and it goes,
"Okie dokie,"
and then disappears into thin air.
Oh, for fuck!
Oh shit! I only did one thing.
I pressed the button.
Okay, you press the button, and another mannequin that looks exactly the same appears, and it goes,
"Hey, it's me, Syntax Error. What can I do for you?"
Holy shit.
Ask it about the pocket.
I ask it about the gold. Tell me any information you may have about the golden denim anthropomorphic pocket statue we found in the first room, old Syntax.
Syntax goes, and then Syntax slams his hand on the button, and that summons another one, and that one goes,
"Hey, it's me, Kit Carnage. What can I do for you?"
And then Syntax says to Kit Carnage, "Do you know anything
about the anthropomorphic pocket?"
And then Kit goes, and then Kit slams their hand on the button, and another mod appears, and it goes,
Hey, it's me, Liz Dahlia. What can I do for you?
and that goes on and so forth through Sithcat, Phoenix O'Lion, Disturb 778, Jex, Caboose, and What the Shark until all of the mods' heads explode.
God damn it.
I slam my hand on the button.
Nothing
It's out
happens.
of. Nothing. It ran
Can you make a poll, please? Can you please make a poll about which one of us is most likely to survive this dungeon? My
Make a
voice
poll so we can
echoes
climb out of the dungeon.
into silence.
Ooh.
Well,
I test the
man, that was
the door in this room. Is there another door to continue?
Yes, so
Oh,
you have
shit.
another door to the east and a door to the south.
This room sucked worse than the last one, man.
Was that a test and did we fail?
I think so. Let's head south.
Yeah.
And I head to the southern door. Sadly, I depressingly open it up and just wander into the next room.
Okay. You head south. Another room draws itself onto the map. And in this room, you see a horde of little creatures crowding the room. They're little munchkin things with round bulbous heads, just real annoying little pieces of shit. They seem to be doing absolutely nothing, but they're just wandering around aimlessly, making little whap whap noises here and there. A glass case sits on the far side of the room next to another door, but there are too many of these stupid little things for you to see clearly. What do you do?
I use my animal handling to I go, no worries guys, I've seen these things before, and I do, and I'm not sure that I have, but I do the call of the little things in an effort to get their attention and get some order in the room. So I go, oh wah wah!
Several of let's say there's 100 of these little things in the room.
Oh, God.
About 20 of them turn to face you and they go,
Wow, wow, wow.
and they go, you know we speak English, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I knew that. I was just like, yo, what's in the glass case at the end of the room?
The first one goes, I don't know. And then they part like the Red Sea, allowing you to walk over to it.
Thanks, little dudes. All right.
I still walk through the little creatures to the side, knocking them down as I do,
Sure.
even though they've clearly
They're just like,
made a path for us. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Until I reach the glass case as well with the party.
Okay,
Gaze into the glass case.
You see in the glass case 5 gems. There's a green one, a blue one, a red one, a yellow one, and a purple one. And next to the case, there are 3 conveniently sized gem sockets cut into the stone wall. That will take you to the southern door. The western door is also locked, but doesn't appear to have any sort of mechanism for you to open it.
I reach into the glass case and pick up the purple gem because it is my favorite color, and I plug it into the first gem socket.
Mm-hmm.
I pick up the
No one's gonna stop this, man. Yo,
red
Fletch,
gem, which I
Fletch,
believe was there.
slow down, man. I
and
grab him.
Plug it
I grab
into
him.
the middle socket.
I grab him.
Get off me! I pick up the yellow.
I'm stopping
Give
him.
me
And
give me an opposed strength check. So both of you roll strength.
Oh shit!
Should have snatched.
I feel
Should've
weak
snatched,
after my
not
foot
taken.
got cut. I should have snatched the gem. Yeah.
At least you have a foot.
Okay,
roll
Fletch,
it.
you easily just push him away.
I push him away and I pick up a third gem, which I think might be blue, but I can't
I'm
remember.
going to
the
aim
color
my
that was.
crossbow
Red.
at his head and be like, you touch another one of those gems and there'll be a crossbow bolt through your ears.
I look at her and smile and say, there are only 3 gem sockets and I'm already holding the third gem, so sure, I won't touch another gem. And then I push it into the third socket.
Okay. You push the purple gem, the red gem, and the blue gem,
Blue
was it?
gem. Yep.
Into the sockets. There's a vibrating noise. The gems disappear and reappear in the glass case. And you just hear all of the toads at once go, blah, blah.
Yo, man, that means like you suck. Those little dudes are ribbing you, man.
I turn to the toads and say, little fungal men, listen to me. I am Mangus the Titular. I am a highborn. I'm above all of you.
Oh, God.
Tell me the...
Jesus Christ.
Tell me, what of this riddle?
One of the toads steps forth and goes,
You, little toad at the front. Tell me.
Man, he's trying to tell you, man.
It goes, it's me, the biggest one. He looks exactly the same size. And he says, if you get it wrong, you'll probably die.
Well, that's not true.
That means you got it right, man. If you're still alive, unless something else is going wrong.
Small fungus creatures. Do you know what the answer is to this riddle and are just choosing not to tell us?
The leader toad looks at you and goes, I have no idea.
Can I cast Charm Person on the toad
Sure.
creature?
Absolutely.
You're gonna get a charmed. I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea. What are you doing later?
Charming lady. A friend for life. Or until the spell's duration is complete.
So you cast Charm Person on the toad, and the toad goes, wow, I thought you were in another castle. And it goes, what can I do for you?
Listen, great to have you here, and I really felt like there was a connection between us, and I'm so glad that you could be a part of this wonderful friendship group that we've got going on. We're trying to kind of get through this dungeony mazy thing. We're a little bit lost. There was a pocket room before with a statue. Mangus lost his foot. So we're really, really struggling. And what we could use right now is a little bit of help just finding our way. So any information at all that you could give us to help us escape this labyrinthian nightmare would be just amazing. And I look at it imploringly deep into its little fungus eyes and give it my best smile.
And the toad goes, well, I'd love to help you, but my intelligence isn't very high. I don't know anything that's going on in here, but if you like, me and my friends here we could just set about trying all the combinations of the gems if you want. It'll probably take us a little while, but you could come back later and maybe we'll have the door open.
Yeah, I mean, is anything going to happen to you guys if you fail? You mentioned that there might be some death.
The toad's like, we'll probably die, but that's okay, princess.
Cool. I want to let you know that you'll be rewarded for your sacrifice. I don't know how, but you'll be rewarded.
The toad goes,
at some point.
Your presence is more than enough. I love you.
And I love you, small fungus creature. Go forth with your friends and win this game for us.
So you see the toad turn around and it starts giving instructions to all of the other toads. And they set to work trying brute forcing the combination of the gem puzzle.
Perfect.
I am not that intelligent. How many possible combinations could there be?
Great question. I think we worked out. There's like
slots.
5 gems, 3 slots.
Oh, that's gonna be millions. 120. Lays it.
120 says Reese. 60 says Goody.
They have to be in the correct order, I assume.
It depends. It does depend if order matters or not.
Yeah.
Let's just wait and find out.
All right. Well, because there's what, 100 toads in here. How long could it possibly take? Do we want to continue exploring, or
we should come back later?
I think we about turn and say all the best, little spore men, and we head back to the next available door by checking our maps.
I'm the only person that wants to watch a bunch of toads explode. Okay, you guys are missing out. Fine.
Listen, whatever weird, like, exploding butt kink you have, you need to just, like, rein it in because we've got to try and keep what little is left of our party intact.
That's pretty high and mighty talk from someone who just enslaved an entire race of toad people to kill themselves.
I am doing what needs to be done.
All right, let's leave the haunting lady to her plans. And I think we head back to the next available door.
Okay, so both doors out of this room are locked. The south one is by the gem puzzle, but the western one just seems to be locked for some reason. You don't seem able to open it. So you can head east or west from the kind of top set of rooms.
I'd like to continue heading east.
Yeah, I reckon too, because we'll get further away from that pockety statue and see what happens.
Okay. You head to the east. A new room draws itself, but you cannot see this one yet because there is a door blocking the entrance to the room. This one's made of indestructible magic metal wood because as the DM, I have that kind of power. It has one of those sliding peephole thingies in it, and the sliding peephole thingy is closed at the moment.
I reach forward and slide it open and push my half-orc eye into it.
So you can still be all right after the tragedy that's about to unfold.
Give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Ah, shit. Ah, shit. 7 plus 4, 11.
Okay. A burst of flame shoots out of the door, and you get burned for 13 fire damage.
Holy.
And as that happens, you see a skeletal mouth start. You see a skeletal mouth start chattering away at the door, and in a froggy kind of voice it goes, "Oh lordy, I'm so sorry. I'm just so nervous. Oh lordy, I hope you all aren't hurt or scared or discomforted or lordy, even dead. Oh no, I was so startled." And the little skeletal mouth thing backs away from the door, and you can see it's just a skull yapping away, a floating skull. It's wreathed in flames, and its eye sockets contain small orbs of fire. The room beyond the peephole is covered with hundreds of metal spikes poking out from the walls towards the center. And some of the spikes on the floor have skulls mounted on them. And the little floating skull goes, "I've been trapped in here forever, it seems. Isn't that right, Andy? Could you all help us?"
Man, like, you gotta chill with the fireball attacks at the door, man. Like, maybe someone tried to help you before and you burned them to a crisp.
Good point.
It goes, "I never thought of that. Sorry."
Yeah, well... I walk over to Mangus and I cast my first spell of the evening, a Cure Wounds, in the hope that it will soothe his hot flesh.
Sure.
For 1d8 plus 6.
Yep.
10 heals.
That's a 10. Cool.
Thank you kindly. Now that I'm back to... press the wrong button.
Cannot regret.
So the door is still locked, I take it.
You could try the door. You've just been confronted with a big door. And the little skull yells out, "It's not locked, it's just really heavy."
I push.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I no. I was going to suggest that we all put our backs into it.
Fucking hell.
My face is burnt.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay. So everyone who wants to try opening the door, give me a athletics or strength check, whichever is whichever you feel like is better for you to do.
I'm not much help. I'm pushing.
I got a 23.
Perfect. You Nick, managed to push the door open almost single-handedly. And as you do so, you feel a weird kind of thing of... what did you roll, Pete?
7.
Okay. You feel Pete kind of knock... You feel Hellballs knock into the back of you and kind of accidentally push you into the room. The door slams shut behind you.
Fuck.
Oh, God.
I rolled a 2.
It was...
She
it was
slams
X.
into the shut door. I turn around and pick up Hellballs. I'm fairly certain the #1 rule of adventuring is never split the party. What do we do?
And just another check of the room, a perception check of the room for me, please. What's going on in here, man? There's like spikes and shit.
Yeah, so you see...
That's a critical roll, baby.
Nice.
It's a nat 20.
So you can see spikes extend in every direction into the center of the room, except for the space where you're standing, which is where the door would open and close. And mounted on some of the spikes are various skull heads that look exactly like Andy. But you do see, with a check like that, one of the skulls does look different to all of the others, and there is a dagger sticking out of its eye socket. And with a check that good, you can see that there is a clumsily etched word into the hilt of the dagger, and it says the word surprise in big letters.
Jesus, man, what a sick joke. This knife that stabbed into a dude's head says surprise on it.
Yeah.
All
Last
right,
thing you ever felt.
What is it? What do you see in there? I can't. I'm on the other side. I rolled a 2.
Spikes for days and skulls for more, man.
All right. Well, just don't move or do anything crazy because Mangus lost a foot and most of his skin. So I feel like we need to try and keep the rest of the party variously intact. So
I push past Hex and say, I echo that sentiment. Don't touch anything. And leave the dagger and everything else.
The stone wall is thick.
Ask the skull how we can safely save it.
The stone wall is thick. Hellbus, I think they said touch everything, especially the dagger, and don't talk to the skull.
I didn't say that.
I reach for the dagger.
No, Fletch.
Give me a
yell.
I lie down flat on the
Surprise.
ground as low as possible,
God.
hopefully under the spikes.
So you reach for the dagger. Nick, can you give me a dexterity roll right now? Just to see if you can actually reach out and get it without falling onto the spikes. Oh, easy. Yep. So you reach out, you manage to grab the dagger. It just looks like a pretty rusted, old-looking dagger. Nothing seems to be particularly special about it. And the skull that's floating in there with you just goes, if you could just get the door open. I've been stuck in here for God knows how long. I just need me and Andy to get out.
Yo, which one's Andy, man?
Which one's Andy?
He points to one of the other skulls, and he's like, points. He floats over to one of the other skulls, and he goes, this one. Andy's my best friend. Aren't you, Andy? Andy does not respond.
Wait, the skull can just float around anywhere it wants?
Yes.
It's a floating skull. I hold the dagger up. Look, we could probably push the door open again. Do you know where this thing came from?
It goes, no, it just randomly appeared in here about, I don't know, 2 hours ago.
I'm pressing my mouth up against the slot in the door. Do you know anything about a pocket statue or like 3 colored gems?
It goes.
Sorry, go.
It goes, I don't know anything about any pocket. I'm sorry, lady.
I spin around to Hellballs. Hellballs, I know you're high as shit right now. And
Dude,
I may
you have no idea, man.
And I may just be the himbo of the group. But I seem to recall our friend who previously wielded a crossbow but ended up throwing daggers threw one about 2 hours ago. And now it's randomly appeared in this room. It seems like the kind of hubris and arrogance to have etched in his daggers various kind of witticisms for his fallen enemies. This seems like a manga special.
I lean forward into the door and yell, Speros! What's your other name? Fletch! Shaft! Your boys finishing up in there?
Yo, man, I don't remember any of that, but, like, I'm with you all the way, dude. You're, like, the coolest one here by far, man. Like, with the pants and stuff, like, you're always, like, grinding and shit. I love that. So, you wanna surprise anyone with that dagger? Like, you got me, man.
I don't know whether or not we trust Mangus. I feel like any time that he's
No, man.
no. So I feel like we should hang on to this, and we might need this later. I tuck it into my pants. Do I need to do any sort of fashion check to make sure that it's well hidden?
That's fine.
Okay.
I'm going to say you do that.
I put it down the front, if that makes any difference.
Sure.
So the hilt creates a nice bulge.
Nice. To the left. Mangus, man, no, we'll be right out, man. Like, we're just, like, talking to Andy in the skull, bro. They're like, we're having a cool time in here. You just chill out, man.
Turn to Hex Scotty and go, clearly hires balls. Let's wait it out.
So I turn to the skull. So you said the door's not locked. We managed to just push it open. I'm the strongest one, it appears, and I'm in here now. We're going to need the other two to do it. Is there any other way out of here? Is there a handle on the door? Is there something else we can use? Maybe leverage?
So you can see that there is a handle on the other side of the door, so you can pull it as well.
And so, hang on a second. Have you been able to get out of here the entire time, but it's because you're a floating skull, you can't open it?
Yes, it goes, yes, that's exactly the problem. As you can see, I don't have any hands. Well, except for this. And he casts Mage Hand, and a floating white hand appears, and he goes, but this isn't strong enough to open that fucking thing.
I turn
Sweary skull.
I turn and incredibly easily open the door.
You are going to have to give me another athletics or strength roll for that one.
And we pull.
Hold on,
the
man.
other,
And I grab the Andy skull from its spike because I want to make sure that comes with us.
Can we pull on the door to help them out?
I think you'll need to.
Yes.
You used all your strength pushing it open.
Fletch, you put your hand on the door, and as you pull, your hand just slips away. You fall backwards onto one of the spikes, and you take
The hole in the pants.
4 damage.
The hole widens. Oh, God.
The hole widens.
Help us. Help.
I reach out to Fletch and I leverage him off the spike that he's currently precariously like sticking to.
Oh, God.
I got you, man. You got to be
That's
careful.
messy.
The thing about spikes, man, is that they'll penetrate your flesh. I know that because I'm a cleric and I've studied medicine. So whenever you put a pointy thing in a fleshy thing, the pointy thing always wins, man. Every time.
Doesn't Mangus still have a spare healing potion in his pocket?
Yeah, but he's on the wrong side of a door.
Oh, we cannot reiterate enough.
Just pop it through the slot. Pop it through the slot.
Pop it through the slot, maybe. Is the slot big enough to pop it?
Heck, Scotty, why don't we both pull on the door in an attempt to help Fletch and Spiros?
Has
I'll
anyone else
try, but the
noticed-
last time I tried, I rolled a 2. So
And did I get the Andy skull?
You have it, and you notice that it rattles as you pick it up.
Hey, man, how does it rattle? Is it full of coins?
Not like it's full of coins. There appears to be an item inside of it.
Yo, before you go pushing and pulling, man, I want to check out this skull, because Andy's holding a secret.
And the skull goes, hey, what are you doing to Andy? Leave him alone!
I'm just making friends, man. I just want to check out what's going on inside this killer jawline, man.
I do that thing that a schoolyard bully does, where I just put my hand on the floating skull and just keep it at arm's length away from Hellbas, as he puts his hand all up in Andy.
Okay, you take 3 burning damage because it is a flaming skull.
Yeah, man, yeah, that was real fucking hot. Yeah, yeah. I should have seen that coming.
Wait, no. Fletch burns.
Oh, Fletch burns on that one, not me, not Andy.
Andy is just a regular skull.
Andy's just a skull.
You can assume he used to be a flaming skull, but he appears to have died at some point, and the skull that you're talking to does not appear to have noticed. So if you want to try the door again, and Spiros, if you want to help Fletch, you can give him advantage on his roll if you try to assist him in opening the...
What's your bonus to strength off character?
4.
Yeah, then you're stronger than me. Yeah, I'll give you advantage. All right, man, I got your back. Just don't slip and poke us both.
Oof.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
Makes the dream work, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, that door is open, man.
So you guys hold it open.
I turn to Hellballs. Tell no one that the biggest struggle we've had tonight was with a door.
So you hold the door open and the skull kind of graciously nods its head and floats out. It casts Mage Hand again and reaches out to pick up the Andy skull, which you are currently holding, Spiros.
Here you go, man. He's a what's in? Did I check what was inside first, though?
You tried to.
Sorry, I didn't.
I wanted to, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's retroactively say you did. You can see that there appears to be some kind of potion in there.
Yo, you know Andy's got vials in his head, man. Like, do you want me to unplug that?
And he goes...
Probably bath water.
And he goes, oh, maybe that's why he hasn't been speaking to me much lately. Yeah, sure, you can do that.
Man, I'll get it.
So you pull the potion out of his head, and you have picked up a potion of flying. So what that does for you is, let me just
potion of flying.
I should have copied this into my document.
Fly into the middle of that.
I'm gonna have a guess what it does, but you can all look it up.
Yeah. So essentially, it allows you to float. You gain a flying speed. You gain a flying speed equal to your walking speed for 1 hour and can hover. If you're in the air when the potion wears off, you fall unless you have some other means of staying aloft. Cool. So...
Right, add it. There we go. Loading.
In terms of options, you have west from the treasure room, north from the statue room, or east from the room where the goblins were.
As we proceed, I turn to Fletch and Hellballs and say, "Gentlemen, sounds like quite an adventure you had in there. What have you brought with you from the spiky room of death?"
just that skull, man. It was like a room full of spikes and skulls. It was like, I reckon Hex Scardy would have felt right at home, man. It was goth as.
I pivot my hips away from Mangus and go, yeah, what he said.
I notice his hips. That is all.
Thank you.
All right, well, that sounds fantastic, but I think we should really focus on trying to get through this. Should we head back to the treasure room and see what was out the other way?
Yeah, man. But I'm going to poke my head in the mushroom room and, oh my God, don't look in there.
You see the piled corpses of around 25 desiccated, burnt toads piled up around the gems.
Still plenty to go.
They're not done yet.
The work of heroes. The work of heroes.
We missed it.
I look in there and I think, lightly sauteed mushroom, and then we proceed west.
Okay, so if you
There's
head
a
back
lightly sauteed mangus.
all the way west, you enter this room. And this is a long rectangular room. And as you enter the room, all of the doors suddenly slam shut behind you. And like in a Zelda game, bars slide down, blocking the door.
What sounds like?
No.
On the north wall is a giant mouth about 8 feet high, made up of the stones in the wall, magically sliding around like voxels in the wall. There's nothing else you can see in this room, and you're not really looking anywhere else either because there's like a giant mouth on the wall. And as soon as you, I said that already. As soon as you enter, the door slams shut. And then the mouth suddenly booms.
Surprise! Answer this riddle. You have to do it. What is only lost but can never be gained? Solve the riddle and something cool happens. If you fail, it's bad. What's your answer?
I quietly pull Fletch aside and go like, well, I say to the room, I say, hey man, that sounds like a cool riddle. Give us a moment to think about it. And then I pull Fletch aside and go, is that got anything to do with the surprise dagger? You want to stab that thing in the face or something, man?
No, I think it's virginity. I think the answer is virginity.
Oh god.
I mean, you'd know, man. Like, I'm right behind you, man. Like, you're the one, man.
I think you'll find virginity is a construct.
I also lead in with Hex Guardian.
Holy shit, they're listening, man.
I said, let's work together as a team.
Yeah, team.
What's this about
team?
What's this about a hagger? I heard.
Oh, that's just it's just a little something I found in the other room. I don't know anyone in here who's
the spirit
interested in
of
daggers.
Hagar, man. One of those classic orc legends. You don't remember the story of Hagar?
Oh my god, Spiros, just have a cheeseburger and chill out, man.
Let's focus on the riddle. What's lost but can never be gained? What's lost but can never be gained?
Hexguardi, you're learned in the ways of poems, songs, and riddles. Surely this is something that's up your alley.
Yeah. It does remind me of another poem by the fantastic poet Wanderlust. Calls to my memory in this moment. Between my bosom there lies a locket, within the image of a well-known pocket. Here upon my breasts, do come inspect. They are to be admired, I can attest.
So they are to be looked at.
According to the great poets of days gone by, indeed.
Bravo, Wanderlust. Bravo, indeed.
I look at Hellbus and I nudge him in the ribs and I go, something will never get back after that. Time, am I right? I'm trying to engender some sort of camaraderie after the.
Yeah, man. I always think about time, but you can gain time.
Can you?
Can you?
You can only lose it. Time only moves in one direction.
Both ways.
I feel like
nudge you harder.
Cleverly.
Yeah,
maybe
man.
in whatever like acid trip reality you live in, Spiros, time is wibbly wobbly and moves in all directions. But I'm pretty sure here on this mortal coil, time moves in one direction. And Fletch, I think that's pretty good. I think that's.
I lean back from the.
We should try that as an answer.
Say, time's a pretty good answer. Towards the wall, slightly in earshot, mouth shot, if you will.
I walk into a corner of the room and hold my shield in front of me while these guys are like, time. Yeah, it's time.
Okay.
I said time's a pretty good answer. Wondering if anything is said in response.
No, man, mouth, it ain't time.
You see the mouth curl up into a grin, and it goes.
Hee hee hee, that was incorrect. The correct answer was innocence.
And then all of a sudden you see all of your clothes and everything you're carrying fly off your bodies. The room that goes westward flies open and all of your clothes, weapons, and everything you're carrying shoots out. The four of you are standing naked in the mouth room. What do you do?
I argue with the mouth by saying, I said it was a pretty good answer, not the one we decided to choose.
The mouth goes, and then reforms back into just a solid stone wall.
I put my hands on my hips and I say, well, I said they were to be looked at, and I'm sticking with it.
I wonder, as the dagger that was in my pants clatters to the floor, since it wasn't my weapon, did that fly out of the room as well?
It did. Everything you were carrying flew out of the room. All four of you are standing naked.
Well, this is a pretty natural state for me, so I'm totally comfortable if you guys are.
I'm outrageously uncomfortable, and I quickly attempt to cover all parts of my half-orcish body in shame before scuttling towards the westward door.
Yeah,
I look at Mango's surprised that the top half was the orc half, and the bottom half seems to just. What are the odds that it just splits like that?
Back in Lost Anglers, man, we used to go fishing nude all the time, man. It's a great way to catch yourself a big one.
Okay, so as you, Mangus,
Fish,
as you approach the western door, you can see that all of your clothes and weapons are just piled up neatly around the treasure chest in the adjoining room.
Oh, thank Christ. I scramble to my clothes, hastily putting them all on as I rummage through a pile of...
Watch that buzzsaw, man.
Yeah, you have less protecting your various appendages now than before.
What's left of you, man?
They're next to the chest, right?
Yeah, they're piled up neatly next to the chest, and there's 4 distinct piles. So if you want to go in before everyone else, you could have an opportunity here to...
I do. I rush forward and stumble towards my pile of half-orcish clothes. As I do, finding myself moving past a pair of Velcro pants, and a glimmer catches my eye.
Mm-hmm. Give me a perception roll.
One of the coins he shot is still in here.
Yeah, it's just
perception,
on the
was
undies.
Yep.
Sweet 16.
Perfect. That'll do it. You see the surprise dagger sitting neatly on top of Fletcher's piled clothes.
Rise. Haven't seen you in a long time. I hastily grab the dagger and then the rest of my clothes and scramble to put them on while sheathing the dagger with the rest of my daggers.
Allow myself to introduce
my daggers. Sorry, last action. I spin around. I unsheath surprise as the rest of the party walk into the room.
Okay.
I pointed towards them and say, "Surprise, bitches! Where the hell did this come from?"
Hey man, he found the dagger. Oh no.
Yeah. So you've been going through my stuff?
Wait,
This your stuff. This is my stuff.
don't you own daggers? Are they not your daggers?
The
Yes, but I
surprise.
think you'll find
This
this
is a
is a
special dagger.
I lost a long time ago.
Oh.
That was all right. Well, now that you've you found that was in the spike room, and it was in the skull of a skull.
Skull
Sorry, I seem
portion
to
of the skull.
I seem to have been hanging around you a little too much. I had no idea that was yours.
Nor did
That's
I.
weird. Are you saying that the
Or of
dagger
its
that
relevance.
you threw in the room with the bats ended up in the spike room?
No,
in the
okay, hang
skull?
on. No, I have
that
2
was
new
a
daggers. This is
confusion.
an old dagger. I now have 3 daggers, and I've been reacquainted with the old dagger.
We seem to have annoyed him.
Hang on.
Jesus,
you-
keep track of my daggers.
Mangus, it sounds like you have some explaining to do. Where does this dagger come from?
That's something that only I need to know.
All right.
Well, I mean, man, like,
Okay.
it seems
I don't know.
important to you. Like, if you want to tell us about it, we're happy to hear you out. But like, not gonna force it, man. Like, we've got.
Am I meant to talk about it?
You can be as forthcoming as you want. If you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. But if you want to, you can spill the beans.
I recognize this. I see it a lot in my work. You're afraid of intimacy and of opening up. I slowly walk towards you, hands splayed, to show that I'm not a threat. I hold you in a warm, deep embrace, pressed up against you to let you know that I am no threat, and I am here to accept you as you are.
At a young age, I accidentally blinded my brother in an overactive game of surprise dagger. It's when you surprise someone by throwing a dagger at them and yelling, "Surprise!" Fearing my family would cast me out for my carelessness, I hastily escorted my now blinded brother to a nearby village, under the impression we would be seeing a local sorcerer who could heal him. Alas, I indeed took him instead to the edge of a dangerous wood, and I left him there blind and helpless to fend for himself, returning home, acting none but clueless to my family as it was soon discovered he was missing. This is that very dagger.
But what is it doing here?
I have no idea.
Is the answer to the riddle surprise?
No, it was innocence.
No, it was innocence.
Again,
I don't want to be seen.
That's right. I remember. Shh, I told you, don't embarrass me.
I regret being seen in public hugging the guy who stabbed his brother in the eye and left him to die. I unhug and slowly back away.
Probably a good idea.
And that's
All right. Well, if we failed the riddle, we've failed every other room that
I'm
we've
getting
been
dressed
in.
while all this is happening, by the way. And I assume Fletch was still nude while he was doing this.
I was naked the entire time,
Yeah.
and I felt everything.
I inquire hellballs as to the where the dagger might have been found in a skull, was it? And if so,
Yeah, man, right in the eye socket. It was a pretty nasty way to go.
It was
that's
also
what happened to Kevin.
Yes, I should say that the skull was wearing a name badge that said, "Hi, my name is Kevin."
He used to do that.
Yeah. Did he wore
That
it on
explains
his
a lot.
forehead?
He did.
Under the skin? Under
did.
the skin? Yeah.
Classic Kevin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that means that okay. If the dagger was found in a skull in a room that is a piece of your past, was that a test that you failed?
The answer was innocence.
I just feel like every room where we aren't succeeding, and I just really want to have a win. Shall we go back to the Toad room and see what they've won for us?
Well,
Yeah,
man,
what-
like we could go back to the gold room and we can still go east from there, man. Like there's still you got options, man.
And also, I would like to say, from my perspective, the gold room was an enormous win.
Yeah, like
we helped two goblins with their slimming
we
down
assaulted a
issues.
goblin twice.
And we made a small fortune. But I agree that as I'm saying this, I'm velcroing the pants back on slowly. I've become more comfortable with all of you seeing this process since we seem to have shared basically everything. I think we go back to the gold room and attack it from the other side.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Follow me.
I sheath my daggers.
I put my
So
clothes
you had. You have regained everything that you lost. You head east from the gold goblins room. The goblins are gone. There is just a stray gold coin here and there scattered about the room. The map goes and draws a new room. And in this room, mysterious runes and patterns cover the room's walls and floor. Visible at the end of the long room is some sort of evil mage. He's very, very evil. He's a classic cartoonish fantasy wizard too. Long white beard, pointy blue hat, stars on his robe. And he goes,
Ha ha! Your journey ends here, I'm afraid. You'll find that I'm invulnerable to literally any attack you try to do to me. And now I'm going to tell you all about how I, a man, am an oppressed species.
what do you do?
I reach down my pants and yell "surprise" and pull out, and then I realize I'd not that he took the dagger before, so I'm holding nothing.
But you
Didn't see that coming, man. Like, no way.
Listen, Fletch. He
Yes.
said he's invulnerable to every attack. He said nothing about
While this
Sexy
aside is happening, I'm
striptease.
talking to the dark way mage, just like complimenting him on his cool pointy hat. It's like so pointy, man. Like, how'd you get that pointy?
Is there something that you can do to, I don't know, win him over with your sexy Velcro pants skills? I could definitely cast Prestidigitation and
my favorite spell.
and get some music happening for you.
If you could play You Can Leave Your Wizard Hat On, that would be ideal.
Baby, take off your robe.
The pants come off with a third rip. A rip so vigorous it tears the Velcro from the very leather of the legs. These pants will never go back on. I start spinning them around my head faster and faster. His eyes caught on the pants at first, but then realizing my hips are doing exactly the same motion, I throw them at his face. They draw down his chest and pull at his feet. I begin to shimmy and just make intense eye contact with him.
Okay, so
who was carrying that extra health potion? Was it Mangus?
I reach into my hands, pull out a potion, and I groove on over the Fletch. I groove up to him, and I start shimming my back to his back like this. Like,
good.
And I put the potion in my mouth, and then I lean back and pass it to him.
Okay, I need the two of you to roll a dexterity.
Shut the fuck up! I'm having too much fun. And so I grab the potion in my mouth and I tip it down like oil on my phenomenal
The
body.
music intensifies.
I had to roll something besides my
I need you
hips.
to roll a dexterity saving throw, please.
And shimmy as we all finish.
You too as well, Mangus.
Wait, what?
It's a 22.
Okay,
Dex
so the two
saving
of
or
you
dex
dancing
regular?
together. Dex saving, please.
17.
Okay, so the two of you suddenly find yourselves launched across the room. You hit the back wall, but aren't hurt. And the wizard goes,
Ha ha! Charm has no effect on me. Also, I'm gonna build a barrier around the material plane and make the Feywilds pay for it.
Dude, that's so uncool, man. Like, let people like cross borders and shit. Like, what's a wall gonna do?
What did he say when we first came in the room? He's wearing a wizard hat. He said, I'm invulnerable to all attacks.
And I'm an annoying man.
And something else?
I'm going to tell you how I'm an oppressed species.
That's the one.
can you guys give me a perception check, please?
Oh, no.
All of us?
Yeah, all of you.
Oof. I didn't perceive much either.
4.
1.
I got a 7.
Who got the 23 just then? Okay.
The stripper.
Fletch. You notice as you land on the opposite side of the room that
on my feet.
The wall, on your feet because you did such a great save. You're not hurt at all. But you notice that on the left wall, the right wall, and the floor are panels of runes. What do you do?
Okay, I noticed that there's a bunch of runes. I have a look as to if these are runes that I recognize. Are
they any discernible language?
Elsewhere in the dungeon, or if I already know them.
Okay, which one would you like to look at? Left, right, or floor?
Let's start with floor.
Okay, so you look at the floor, and you see... why is my OBS not... Hello?
Hello?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to send that to you. I apologize. You look on the floor and you see this. I'm going to also send that to Pete in case you have some way of bringing that up because it doesn't seem to be showing up in my OBS for some reason.
Okay, if you just move the map around? Yeah, okay, interesting. That worked.
Yeah, it's not...
So, should I just describe it?
Yeah, so what you see is go ahead, describe.
I seem to. It seems to be a carving of some sort. There are 2 runes here. The first one looks like a slingshot, with the sling pulled back, and the second one seems to be, or maybe it's a G. So it could be YG or Y6. And
Okay, I brought it up.
Yeah,
there it is.
Sorry about that. Okay, so yes, you see that on the floor. If any of you would like to pick a wall and roll perception, you can also do that.
Sure,
I'll pick the wall on the
oh, sorry,
left
you go.
and roll reception.
Because
Okay.
Magnus is
Very perceptive.
all right.
Ah, my joke from earlier. I will look at the other wall and perceive
Okay,
I rolled a 14.
So,
16.
okay. So, Steph, your character sees this, and I'm going to send it to you so that you have it locally. And Mangus, you see this, and I am going to send that to you.
United Nations.
Or N, capital N, lowercase n.
Or
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, you guys have seen some cool stuff. Do you reckon they're related in any way?
Possibly letters.
Can I look at the left one again?
Sure. So
what I can see is like a jug of water and an eye looking.
Because
That'd be the letter I. We work out with it.
Yeah, because the Y and the G and the U and the N could be something gun.
Well, they're symbols,
the wizard,
man. They're like
the wizard goes,
Healing potions don't actually work, you know. It's just the Fae trying to track you with nanofairies in your blood. Don't drink them.
I fucking hate this guy.
Can I?
I think to correct me if I'm wrong, but could the jug be an R and the I be an A? And then it's YGUN, and we're looking at some sort of ray gun situation.
do you say that in character or just?
Guys, I know I'm not wearing any pants right now, but I think it says ray gun.
Okay.
Yeah.
My intellect skyrockets when I'm not wearing pants.
Or does it say Ungara?
You say the word. The second you say the word ray gun, a light appears in front of your head, and little particles shift together and form a ray gun directly in front of your face, just floating there. What do you do?
Channeling the ray gun, I ask him to tear down this Wolsey. Too much?
And the wizard goes,
All the adamantine the elves are putting in the water is turning the bullywogs gay, you know.
I grab
shoot
the
the
ray
fucker.
gun immediately and shoot him in the head.
okay, give me just a flat D20 roll.
Kill him.
Shit.
Okay, you rolled a 6 of, when rolling a D20, you had a 5% chance of rolling a 6. A burst fires out of the ray gun and hits the wizard squarely in the chest. The wizard drops, holding his chest in agony, and he screams, cursing,
Ray guns aren't real. This can't hurt me. It's just the flu.
He calls you like
A real piece of shit.
and all sorts of other fantasy xenophobic things, real filthy stuff. You all know what I'm talking about. And as he dies, he suddenly starts begging you for a healing potion.
Please, I really need a healing potion right now, or otherwise I'm gonna die.
From memory, I poured the last healing potion over my body. So if you would like it, sir, I step forward. You're gonna have to lick it off me.
and he rather desperately starts crawling towards you and does attempt to lick your body.
Oh my god, he's gonna do it.
Cue the music again.
You can take off your robe.
Lick your neck off.
Real slow.
And as you are singing that, Hex, he suddenly hears your voice and turns to you and goes,
Hey, I remember you. I drew you so much fan art and you never responded. Why don't you ever respond?
What? That's... No. Shut up. I go and I kick his hat off and grab his head and shove it into the ground and so that his face is muffled and stops talking.
Yeah, okay. He dies.
Yeah, I mean, he probably deserved that. Like, he was already on the way out, but like...
As he dies, you hear the door into the toad room click open.
I think I heard him shit himself.
It's brave little toads.
Ding, 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 ding. That's this door, right?
Yeah.
The east door from the hat.
Yeah. Are we heading back into the toad room?
Through.
Yeah,
Let's go back to the toad
I want to
room.
see what happened in the toad room.
You see one toad standing on top of a pile of 99 dead toads, just breathing heavily. It goes,
Oh, we did end up accidentally trying the same combination over and over because no one was actually keeping track of what was going on, but I did get lucky and it's open.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for your incredible... Wait! I'm going to dash back into the other room and grab the wizard's hat from the ground and rush back into the front room and present it to the toad and say, for your trouble, for your toil, for your fallen fungi, congratulations and wear it well.
The toad goes,
Thank you so much! Am I gonna die?
Probably.
Look, I think we're all gonna die one day, little friend. But all the more reason to live in the moment.
it goes,
Okay, thank you!
Well, all right, man.
so-
Thanks so much.
This
See you later, eh?
Terrible. We all begin to back out of the room, and I look at the toad and I go, "You're a real fun guy." Just keep.
But we all
walking
start
away.
actually, instead of backing out, just gently pushing the
Through
piles
the
of dead
piles.
toads aside as we make our
pile
way
is
towards
now
the now
obscuring the
unlocked
door. Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh my god. Oh, that one's still moving a bit. Oh geesh. Okay, here we are at the door.
Okay. So we head into the southern room. And sorry, bear with me 1 second. Okay. Near darkness fills this room. You actually can't see. And the map doesn't seem to update just yet. There's the sound of gently sloshing water echoing off the walls. There's a rowboat bobbing in a slow-moving stream tied by a rope to a small concrete pier. The horrid, oily water flowing in the stream looks suspiciously like some kind of thick juice. And as far as you can tell, it is very dark, but there just seems to be a corridor filled with water just leading away.
I kick off I toke back my joint cantrip again of light. Trigger it off and see if we can see anything else within 20 feet.
Yeah. So as far as you can tell, the corridor just extends down much further than 20 feet.
Well,
Does that boat look like it's gonna hold all four of us?
Wouldn't
Yeah,
want to
man.
split up.
It does.
she'll float. She'll float all right.
I trust Spiros Sailor Boy Hellballs over here, so I place my right foot. Hang on. I awkwardly stumble into the boat.
Collapse into the boat. I follow Magnus.
I remember the rule of always step into the middle of a boat. However, I use my left foot, which is missing, and I clumsily fall into the front of the boat.
The boat rocks concerningly as you do that, but it does quite easily hold your weight.
It'll hold. I call back to the party.
I jump in enthusiastically into the boat, landing with grace and ease and effortlessness in the middle.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. I'm going to say you do exactly that.
You're going to want to put some pants on, man.
You really know
This
how to
thing's
make a guy
splintering.
feel bad.
No.
I climb into the boat.
Worse.
I climb into the boat after them, and I pull a knife from my backpack, and I hold the rope with the other hand, and I cast a look back at everyone else, and I say, "We doing this, fam?"
I leap forward and I yell, "Surprise!" and I cut the rope with my dagger.
Okay. So the boat starts to slowly move down the corridor into the darkness. The boat seems to move of its own accord. You twist and turn around a winding path, and every once in a while the walls flash with bright images. There's a parrot. There's a doubloon. There's a treasure map. Can everyone give me a perception check right now?
15.
13.
Okay.
God.
Where is it again?
I perception in the... Yep.
8.
Yep. And Nick, what did you get, sorry?
14.
14. Okay. Who got the 15? Was that you?
No, Gus got the 15, I think.
Gus. Okay. Gus, you are the... Mangus, you are the only one to see a floating, disembodied arm floating in the water that just gently kind of knocks up against the boat as you go past. You look down at the arm and it appears to be covered in tattoos. You see fish, you see the helm of a boat, you see a mermaid, you see sailing ships, and you see a love heart with the initials GB inside tattooed onto the arm.
I hastily grab the arm and whip it into the boat for all to see. Where they all see the same thing. And I ask Spiros, Hellballs, you're a sailor. Is finding a missing arm a good omen or a bad omen when sailing?
Look, it's not great, man, and I know that arm. Yeah, man, that's Girl Bass's nephew's arm.
Oh no.
That came flying off on a one of those seafaring tragedies you hear about. Ropes in the wrong places, that kind of thing.
Were you involved in this tragedy by any chance?
Well, I wasn't. I mean, I didn't lose an arm.
Did you make someone else lose an arm?
Ropes are like their own thing, man, and they they got a mind of their own, and sometimes they just want to rip an arm off someone, no matter how good the knots are, So I don't know how it turned on me. It wasn't really my fault. I kind of just put the rope there and it wasn't there after a bit.
So we're trusting you to lead this seafaring boat voyage when in actual fact you caused someone to lose an arm the last time you were on a boat?
Yeah, but this is just like a stream, man. I can handle this.
All right, everyone, keep your arms inside the vessel and
inside the boat at all times.
Do not let Spiros guide any part of this part of the mission because I do not trust his skills at all.
Okay. As you're having this conversation, the boat continues drifting down the corridor and it starts turning left and right. Can everyone give me another perception check right now, please?
I'm gonna find more body parts.
God damn it.
14.
5.
18.
Okay. Fletch and Spiros, you notice in the distance, as you round one of the corners, you see a very faint glowing exit sign that the boat is about to move past. The boat seems like it's about to reach a platform where it looks like you can alight, but it will keep going without you if you get off. I'm going to give you 30 seconds of real time to decide whether or not, as a team, you get off here or you keep going.
In that 30 seconds, can I cast
30 seconds is happening, man. It's like right now.
25.
getting off, man.
prestidigitation
I said we enjoyed the ride. I vote
and
we
cast
continue.
some sparks of light to see if I can see anything else?
20.
I would get off.
I vote we continue.
I'm voting for getting off. And if we get through the door, then
15?
we can get off through the door as well.
Spiros?
Man, like, you know.
X? Oh my god.
Ten.
Love the feel of wood under my butt. I'm staying.
I pick up
Seven,
the severed arm.
6,
That's 2 votes for
5.
getting off.
I vote we get off. I vote we get off.
That's
I
3
voted out to get off.
We're getting
Okay.
off. All right.
As the boat passes the platform, you all leap off quite easily onto the pier, and you see that the boat continues on without you. So you are here on the map.
In the lower intestine.
In the
Yeah.
scrot.
in the scrote.
That's definitely the scrotum of a duck.
Okay. All right. So there is only one exit, so I'm going to assume you take it. And when
Sure.
Sorry, are we at the westernmost?
We're the balls or halfway
door
down
or
the shaft?
Are we in the ball?
you're halfway
we at
down
the
the shaft.
kink?
You're halfway down the
we at the
shaft. Sorry.
kink?
Halfway
So
down the
you're-
shaft. Okay.
Okay,
You're
halfway down
here.
the shaft. Okay,
Yep.
cool. But we're headed for the,
Yeah.
Gotta get
the
going.
head. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the boat, you're at this exit.
and
basically. There's a little pier.
it's a door.
Yep, there is a little door there.
So I don't trust any of the doors in this place. So I reach out with the disembodied arm and use its hand to open the door handle.
Okay. The door handle opens quite easily. And when you hear the on the map and a new room gets drawn. And when you enter this room, it doesn't make sense in your brain. Behind you is... Behind you is a wall and a door, and in front of you is a wall and a door, but there's no ceiling and no side walls. To your left and right, and behind either of the standalone walls, the room stretches out to infinity in either direction. Every footstep you make echoes on the shiny polished floor, which you can't make out because it's covered in a low, thick fog that comes up to your ankles. If you've played Ocarina of Time, this room looks exactly like that one room in the water temple. What do you do?
I mean, I know what you guys are gonna say, but like, I feel like now might be a good time to get high.
What do we see directly in front of us again?
And I pull out
So-
the levitation potion that's in my pocket.
Good, clever wordplay.
Nice,
Thanks, man.
Nice.
I always try to keep things interesting when I'm in weird rooms.
Cool.
I take the disembodied hand and I crack all the fingers down until it's just holding up a thumb and hold it up to you at a big thumbs up.
Okay. So Steph, you asked what you see. So behind you is a wall and a door that is just standing alone in the infinite space. And in front of you, about, let's say, 10 meters in front of you, is the exact same arrangement. Another wall and another door.
And it's just shiny, polished floor between us and the door in front of us.
Yeah, and also extending beyond the walls in every direction.
What's up?
Seemingly nothing. It just looks like white skybox.
Spiros, I say you
My
neck
people
that
need me.
potion. You're gonna have to toss me.
Look, man, like, it says here on the label on the vial that it should last for like an hour. So I'll have time. I'll go up, I'll see what's up there, and I'll come back.
Surely you should
it
just
looks
levitate across the room.
infinite. So
What do you mean?
I would use this as a simple way to find yourself across the room, wouldn't you?
We can walk to the other door, right?
Fletch,
I'm not
throw
doing
that,
that. I'm
throw
not
that
doing that.
arm into the middle of the room and see what happens.
But
thinking.
I've grown attached to it.
All right, well, if it just lands there, you can pick it up again.
I crack off a pinky and
Okay.
toss it in the middle of the room.
Okay. So you toss the pinky into the middle of the room, and right before it touches the floor, you see it kind of bounce off an invisible wall and fall down onto the ground. And as that happens, the door on the other side opens. The far door opens and 4 humanoids enter. The first is a shorter than average woman with blonde hair and a sword. The others are 3, to your eyes, identical men. They're all bearded with brown hair. One is holding a cylindrical roll with some kind of leathery fabric wrapped around it. Another is wearing a mystical glove that only covers some of his fingers. And the third, who is perhaps distinguishable from the others by maybe being a bit taller, seems to be holding a metallic shiny grey rectangle with what appears to be a sigil of an apple engraved on its outside. The last one steps forward, points directly at the entire group and says,
Here it comes.
"Listen here, you pieces of shit."
God damn it.
That's the end of part 1 of Unthreaded, our back pocket themed Dungeons and Dragons campaign for our tabletop show, Dice and Drama. Huge thanks to everyone who watched, and a special shout out to those who helped me playtest the campaign to remove as much of the crud as possible. Fourth Reaper and a pawn called Bishop, who are amazing dungeon masters and helped me craft the experience, as well. And I'm not amazing at speaking, as well as Arcade Blob, Lesser of Two Weevils, and the Coastal City, who helped me playtest it. I assume Back Pocket will be on tomorrow night.
It will be 7 o'clock as normal.
Perfect. All right.
That's amazing,
we'll
dude.
see you guys.
I'm sorry. I believe it is actually, what is it? No. Sorry. Yes, it is 7 o'clock. That's weird.
We might get into that next time. There will be a part 2 eventually, but we're just going to work out what the dates are on that. And also, I need to write it. We'll see you guys sometime in the future, but ready for Back Pocket tonight next week. Good night, everyone.
Thanks, man.
Good night, amazing.